Welcome everyone to a new VCL Ultra Cup Finals. I'm here with my friend, Mr. Konya de Sico. How are you, Konya?
Hello, everyone. How is it going?
Oh,
Happy Thursday to whoever is celebrating it all over the world. Here we are. So yeah.
yeah, it was a tough day, but here we are. We are making it possible. Okay, thanks of all to Konya and Juanma here in the back in the backstage. But this is the first time we are going to cast in English. This is some kind of test to try if we are able to do it. So Konya is a very good English speaker. So I hope that this will be fine and we will have a good uh, Sunday night.
Yeah, we are trying our best here. Really. I do like speaking English. I actually really like it.
I
My
know.
friend Love here. He's trying his best. Don't be too harsh on him. Just be patient. I'm sure he can do it.
Okay. So we are now in the finals. It has been 3 or 4 months approx. So it would be a long journey, Konya. How do you live it? Do you have fun?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun being here with all the casting and all, watching all the teams like go up and down in the scoreboard and the leaderboards. Because I you could see some teams like okay, they're doing really good, they're doing really bad, and then the next week you came like, oh, they won, they went up, went down. So like it was really changing all the time, but at the same time it was like, okay, there's a team that lost 2 weeks in a row, they can still like get second place, third place. They can still get to the top if they really can, if they get the right results. So it was really fun to always be seeing all the changes. A lot of good teams too. We saw like some creative teams and some like always meta teams. So it's always like Rinya-san and all the teams that we saw all the time were here too. So it's been really fun, honestly, and I really want to see what comes next.
Yes, and we have an example here of all um, of this run here. We have Apprentice Slash that they were in a tough position. They were going to lose the first division category, but in some way they did it. They finished in the seventh place, and these positions gave them the opportunity to enter the Ultra Cup, and now they are in the finals.
Yeah, exactly. They ended up like seventh place, so the Ultra Cup is between the fourth place and the seventh place. So they were last. They qualified, but they were last in this mini group, and now they're in the finals against the Dream Team. So yeah, good for them. Let's see if they can keep up for this final step they have to go here.
Okay, so Juanma, can we see the pictures of the final, the one for Aegis Lash and yeah,
Exactly.
okay. And this is it here. Here we can see the pictures. We saw last week Apprentice Slash beating Hacks Unit. We saw a lot of teams. For example, you remember the Six Dogos team, Konya from Guzman Echeverria.
Yeah. The Stations, Amacenta, and the three beasts of Jodo. Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, yes. And then the next day on last Monday, sorry, we could see in Neme stream that Apprentice Flash also beat Poke Hornets, and beating them, it will be they will be able to play these finals against the Dream Team that finished in the fourth position. So let's see if they trained a lot or not, because they were 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I can't recall, without playing the VCL. So what do you think, Konya? Did
Yes,
they
they
practice?
are they are not warmed up. The dream team is not warmed up after not playing for like 2 or 3 weeks. Apprentice Slash is like playing every week, every single time. They're getting their wins, so they are fully motivated for this dream team. Probably took it easy at first, but now it's the time to shine. So they have to really get everything going right now, and well, they have to beat them if they want the prize of the prize again to be invited um, to the next iteration.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's not a big price, but it helps. It helps the team um, to save the inscription money, so it's good. So we have, luckily, we have all the four matches of this um, showcast. For example, we have obviously we can't bring you the showdown match, but we have all the other four matches, so we will have a lot of to show on stream. Juanma, can you share us the the image with the results? Yeah, exactly.
Easy.
Okay, and this is how it is. Chuanchulo managed to beat Penji Stefan Mott, a very,
Oh,
very difficult game, but he was able to do it, and this is the first point for the Dream Team.
exactly. And we remember that Stefan Mott, last time we casted, he actually won a very important match. So, of course, we know he won the regionals like not so long ago. So like he was a force to be reckoned with. And now he lost his first match of this team that was like doing so well. Now they start 1-0, 0-1. They start on the back, but well, there's still 4 matches to go, so we have to see how it develops.
Yes, exactly. We will have to see what happened. There are a lot of good players. We have Kenneth Gamboa, for example, Lisiado BGC that won the last Desafío Latam, Desafío Latam number 2, that has to face Damo Lokmik, that you know, Konya, that he's a very good player.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that we have to face him in some of the Latin America Cup. I don't remember, but
Against Damo, I don't remember him. I don't remember when we played him, but who knows?
okay. Then we have Abraham Horta, Stats Abi, facing Sablai BGC, Ryan Loseto. Then Isra Swaste versus Sven van der Borden. And finally, Mauricio Leon, Mau Trainer, faces Turtle Mania, Jeffrey Bird, to see which of the two teams is going to win this cup.
Yeah,
You,
I mean,
okay?
I just want to see them. I want to see the action.
Yes. Juanma, do you? Okay, yes. Juanma is always one step ahead. Okay, show us the first match of this stream we are going to have. Which is the one, Juanma? You are the the one who decided. Okay, the first one is Jeffrey Bird against Mauricio Leon. We have a very interesting team from Mauricio. We have Seishan, Evil Child, Incineroar, Rillaboom, and then the duo Urshifu Rapid Strike and Colossal that used to join in the last formats, but here we can see very low in this VCL, Konya.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a Wolfie's team, like Wolfie's team that he won the Players Cup 2 with his Colossal team in like Series 7, I believe. But he had a Galar Moltres, this time it's Yveltal here, and obviously Seishan, because Seishan is the best Pokemon in the format, why not use him? The basic idea is the same. You use your Shifu, you use Colossal. If you don't see a way for your opponent to stop Colossal, then yeah, he's going to wreck you. He's going to run all over you. His max moves, his winning policy, and everything. And obviously, Rillaboom and Incineroar are very good together to help you. Especially Rillaboom. Rillaboom gets rid of all the like bulky water types, some bulky ground types, including Groudon sometimes. So like Colossal can get his job done. So it's a really good team that it's transcended different series. Series 7, Series 9, now Series 12. It doesn't seem like a team that would function that well, but it really does because it has proven the results over and over again. And on Jeffrey's side, we have Rainier San, basically. We see Groudon, Incineroar, and Charizard, this core of fire types, technically. Abusing all the firepower possible next to Seishan because it's a really good Pokemon. Obviously, you have to use it. And this support Gastrodon and support Grimmsnarl, who use Yawn, use Screens, use Thunder Wave, or Scary Face in the case of Grimmsnarl to really stop down your opponent and let Charizard and let Groudon like wreck loose. Already Charizard is like super offensive, and Groudon is usually uses an Assault Vest or something to keep himself alive as long as possible, abusing his Dynamax as best as possible. So yeah, we know how it works basically. We know how the team wants to work. I don't know which one has the upper hand though, because I see ways to stop a Colossal. I see Gastron, I see Groudon. So I think that Mao is going to have to really think about his leads, at least for game one, and see what he can do.
Exactly. Yes. Yveltal is such a good Pokemon to bring to this game, I think, because it can complicate Groudon or Seichan, but I think that we can see. Let's see, Konya, if you are ready.
Ready? Let's go. I want to see some
Okay.
action.
Okay, so here is the first one of the finals between Apprentice X Slash and the Dream Team. Should the Dream Team be the Dream Team and win this series? We are going to see it right now. Juanma, if you are ready, you can show us the first game. Yes. Okay. So get ready, everyone, because we are starting right now. Turtle Mania will face Mao, and let's see what they bring here. First of all, Konya, we have Mao leading with Yveltal and Incineroar, and then Turtle Mania did the same with Incineroar, and he also brings Groudon.
Yeah, that Groudon is going to be intimidated, which is not a great start. But we can see that Jeffrey had an idea to stop Colossal using Groudon, so he'll at least try to have a check against Colossal in case it didn't count this time. We don't know exactly what Yveltal wants to do. Like, it could be Life Orb, could be Assault Vest, could be Weakness Policy. There's a lot of sets that Yveltal can work for. But he's not doing a lot of damage here. Like, maybe a Foul Play against Groudon will probably help, but you don't really want to Foul Play against intimidated Groudon. So let's see what he do. It seems like Incineroar on the side of Jeffrey is going to switch up. He probably wants to save the Intimidate for later. In comes Station, activating his Intrepid Sword, and let's see if there's some Dynamax action on this turn one. Yeah, there's some Dynamax. It's going to be Yveltal, I guess. Let's see what it goes.
Yes. I think that Yveltal will be Dynamax. Yes, that's right. Yveltal is the first Dynamax of this final. He's going to make a lot of damage here. Groudon will say no. Groudon also is going to Dynamax Konya. We will have the fight again, Groudon and Yveltal. This will be very tough to understand what will happen because Yveltal has a lot of power, but let's see what first of all, what to do in Incineroar, it will going to be with the fake out to the station, then the max airstream from Eveltal to the station slot. And now what is Groudon going to do, Konian?
Maybe he has a rock move? No, it's Max Quake against the Incineroar, but it carries a Shuka Berry, so it won't be a lot of damage. I think something that we like to mention here is that you don't want to Groudon to be intimidated, because it's a lot of dead weight to have a Groudon intimidated. It doesn't do as much damage as it usually does, especially in these kinds of teams where Groudon usually carries an Assault Vest, so it doesn't carry some item that will boost his attack. So it's a bit curious to see Dynamax turn 1. I don't think that Mao really expected Groudon to even stay in, because I think he targeted the other slots thinking, okay, this Groudon is not going to do much to me, so let's go for Fake Out and the Airstream is Revoltal on the Incineroar slot. Let's do some damage. I think that Mao's Incineroar intimidated first, so going for a Fake Out is a good call. You don't know his speed type, probably not, but well, we'll see later, obviously. So we know that Groudon does a lot of damage, but it will boost up its special defense a lot if it keeps going for these Max Quakes. So let's see if this. I think that maybe he's working more for the end game for Jeffrey, as we see that Station is going to protect. So yeah, not doing a lot of damage to start with, and we see Max Darkness coming from Groudon, not going for the Airstream, going to drop the special defense that Groudon even boot up last turn. So now it's back to neutral, but if Max Quake does go against the Incineroar again, the Airstream makes Incineroar go faster. He went for Ferrobit, but it did. There was a protect there, so Session is not going to go down, and Max Quake is going to finish off Incineroar. Obviously, no more Shuka Berries, so Incineroar goes down, and Groudon again goes to +1 with the special defense, even after the drop of the Max Darkness coming for Eveltal.
Yes. I think that Mao tried to surprise Jeffrey, but luckily his Incineroar, his Session goes for the Protect. It didn't receive all the Flare Blitz damage in the sun. So this is good news for Jeffrey that continue having his Session alive. Obviously, Groudon can reverse the special defense drop, and he continues having this boost on the special defense.
Exactly, and now that those stations are in the field, they can really do some damage to the Dynamax Pokemon. The Behemoth Blade, it's not a certified KO on any of these Pokemon, but it will be a lot of damage. It is good for Mao, because Eveltal is the fastest thing on the field right now. Well, looks like Jeffrey knew about this. He's going to withdraw his Groudon. Remember, it's -1 in attack, so you don't really want to keep it, but of course you're losing the Dynamax. Well, seems like Jeffrey wants to get rid of the Dynamax, doesn't matter. Brings Incineroar, needs to intimidate that station, so it doesn't need a lot of damage on this turn, and Eveltal is going to use his Max Airstream this time, his last Max move on this game 1, doing a lot of damage to the Incineroar actually. So now Incineroar is not as bulky as we usually see, and Station goes for a Substitute. Very good Substitute there, probably predicting some defensive move for the Groudon. And now the Station from Jeffrey is going to use Behemoth Blade probably on the Eveltal, trying to do a lot of damage. Yeah, that's connected to the Eveltal, and red bar. That's a lot of damage, but Eveltal stays alive, takes the fastest thing on the field thanks to the Airstreams. So I'm going to see that Mao is still in a good position here.
Yes, I think that Mao is in a very safe position, because Eveltal is faster than Session. Mao Session is behind the substitute, so Incineroar can't touch it. So let's see, but I think that Jeffrey has to find something in order to try to reverse this situation. We can see the fake out from the Incineroar to the Eveltal, then the Mao Sessions will move to impact the Behemoth Blade into the Session resist, and finally but that's the Session from Jeffrey hits with the Behemoth Blade and to Eveltal, and we can see another knockout in the Eveltal.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Jeffrey knows that he's not going to get rid of the substitute that easily, so he kind of ignored that turn and just got rid of the Veltal. It was the fastest thing of the field, so a fake up as a Behemoth Blade was very good. Remember that he had to sacrifice his Dynamax on Groudon to bring in Incineroar, but this was a very good call because his Zacian lived the Behemoth Blade at 0. It wasn't a +1 anymore to Intimidate. So now he's looking pretty good. He has 4 Pokemon against 2. Rillaboom enters the field. There's no way to remove the field we see from Jeffrey's perspective, but also he can he can withdraw Incineroar if he wants to, save it for later because there's a Rillaboom station. But Mao has the substitute still, so Jeffrey has to find a way to break the substitute before the station gets out of hand, basically.
Exactly, and we see the Incineroar switch out to let space to Groudon enter to the battlefield. Then the Rillaboom Graphic Light hits the Groudon, leaving it only in 19 HP. Then the Zacian go to the Behemoth Blade to the same slot, knocking out Groudon, but not touching the Zacian. This is very important. Let's see what the Zacian did. He hit the Rillaboom, not Konya? Is that correct?
I didn't. I think he protected.
Okay. So he read the protect. Sorry, I didn't see it. But yes, instead of that, we see that Jeffrey. I think that he's in a pretty good position, but only if he can knock out the Rillaboom, because Gastron is a very good option to fight the Zacian in the late game, but he needs to take rid of the Rillaboom. What do you think, Konya?
Yeah, he does have to get rid of the Rillaboom. We don't know if Mao knows that Jeffrey has Gastron waiting in the back, but he has to keep Rillaboom alive to be able to beat it easily. Jeffrey has a lot of low down HP on his Pokemon, and Mouth Zacian, even if intimidated, is still behind the substitute. There's not a good way to end it right now. We see that Zacian is going to come in instead, and Gastron comes out. So there we see the Gastron will protect. So good switching for Gastron, gets in the field at least. And we see the Secret Sword from Zacian going into Incineroar. I think it was a 50-50, and Mao called it correctly. He had to choose between KOing Incineroar or KOing Zacian. I think that Jeffrey tried to predict this and brought Gastron on the spot that thought Zacian was going to attack. But no, there was an attack on the Incineroar, doesn't get to move. And now Gastron is in front of Rillaboom with Grassy Glide that just threatens the KO outright. At least his Zacian gets back to normal. But it's looking like Mao is going to be better positioned for this late game. He's got all the resources that he needs to bring down Jeffrey's 2 Pokemon.
Yes, exactly. Mao Zacian is faster than Jeffrey, so he can only attack to this slot, and then Rillaboom can do the rest. He can Grassy Glide into the Gastrodome and finish this game 1. So let's see, because this is Pokemon and everything can happen.
Yeah, I look at that last Max Air string that Yveltal used was really good because his Zacian has been behind the substitute at +1 speed, and that's really helping him this time. Because his Zacian is going to protect. Let's see if Gastron maybe has a Ringleberry or something to live. This Gracie Glide doesn't seem like it does, so Gastron is going to come down, and I think that settles this game 1. Mauricio is going to get his first win for his team, at least in game 1, not the set yet. But he really kept his Zacian behind the substitute all this time. Jeffrey just couldn't attack it. He was always threatened, and Mao made a couple of good calls, like knowing when to Incineroar was going to switch out, or where to attack when your opponent was defending, and predicting all the protects. So even if Jeffrey had a better start, I would say that Mao kept his head clean, kept his head cool, and made the right choices that even if against a 4 versus 2 situation, he still got the win.
Yes. I think that this substitute was very good. he's the key to win this game one. Seishan alone maybe can beat all the Jeffrey Pokemons. First of all, the importance also to bring the Rillaboom in order to counter this Gastrodon. I think that it was very very good. So I think that Jefferson might have to readapt some things in order to face game two, because I think that he started well, but Mau had very good turns, the substitute and then the Rillaboom protect. I think that Jeffrey did not expect it, and finally these two things, the substitute and protect, finally gave Mau the first game of this match.
Yeah, I think that one important thing that he knew, he had to keep Rillaboom alive, he had to keep it healthy in order to beat the Gastro in the back. Because if you think about it, you're not going to have Charizard in the back like as your fourth Pokemon, and you're not going to have Grimmsnarl. They usually come as a lead Pokemon. So by this logic, he knew that Gastron was in the back, so he had to keep his Rillaboom alive in order to destroy the Gastron, and then Seishan can clean up the rest. So very good awareness, and well, very well game one. We will see Colossal in game two, because that's a possible adaptation that we can see right now, and it's a powerful one, but it doesn't always work. We have to see if they even try it, or if they just say, no, this is not a game for Colossal, there's a Gastron, there's a Groudon, even Groudon came from the start, so not sure if it's the best place to bring it, honestly.
Yes, but as we said before, Gastrodon was not so comfortable in this game, so maybe Charizard from the side of Jeffrey we see it. I don't know, but maybe an adaptation with Charizard could be a good one. I don't know, but maybe we can but we can see what happens. If you're ready, Konya.
I'm ready. I want to see this game too.
Okay, let's move forward to the game two of this match. Mauricio Leon against Jeffrey Bird. Let's see what happens in this game two. If we probably get a game three, or despite of that, Mauricio managed to win this game two and count the second victory for the Dream Team. Okay, we have Colossal and Urshifu Rapid Strike. Konya, you said it and you have it. And then from Jeffrey's side, we have Grimmsnarl and Incineroar.
Yeah, not a very threatening lead from Jeffrey, because Grimmsnarl and Incineroar are both like support Pokemon. They don't really do a lot of damage, but we know, as we see the Dynamax here, this is probably going to be Colossal. We know that Grimmsnarl could like take off the weakness policy from Grimmsnarl, from Colossal, maybe give it like a lagging tail or something that really disrupts Colossal. We don't know exactly what items they have. Also, he could fake out Urshifu to like prevent the Echo Jets from going off. So let's see what they do first. Okay, no, Urshifu is going to detect, probably predicting this probably fake out from Incineroar. Yeah, that's a fake out. It blocks they protect. And we see a light screen coming from Grimmsnarl. No switcheroo, nothing to really stop the Colossal here. So we're going to see the G-Max Volcalyph. This is not boosted by the weakness policy, so it's not going to do a lot of damage. I mean, it is a lot of damage, but it usually kills. Now, Incineroar is still on the field, but Colossal gets the rocks going. So I think that Mauricio got a very good turn one here.
Yes, it's very important to set up the Volcalyph. So I think that 50% of Colossal task is now complete. We can see a lot from Colossal because the fake out did only give you one more turn, but now Urshifu can go for the Aqua Jet Here we are seeing it, and then Colossal started to do all that we know that he can do. Let's see what Jeffrey did in order to prevent it. First of all, we have the standard wave in order to make Colossal full para, but Colossal moves and go to the max flare into the Crystal slot. Then Incy go for the parting shot, dropping the special attack only to +1.
Yeah, I think that Mao tried to read like a possible. He didn't want to attack Incineroar, maybe. He probably wanted to get the Sun up because if Colossal gets the Sun up and then the Dynamax runs out, he still has access possibly to Solar Beam, and that's very good for Gastrodon or even for Groudon that we see coming in here. So I think he basically wanted to set up the Sun before even Groudon touches the field. Now that the Sun is up, he doesn't mind using the Groudon being here. And the Thunder Wave, I think it was a good call, but yeah, there was no hats involved, there was no full para, so Colossal still got swagged. I mean, even if you're dropping the speed with paralysis, it's still a +6 Colossal. So basically a +3 Colossal. That's still going to speed Incineroar, it's going to speed Greenstar. I'm not sure if it speeds Groudon, we're going to see now. And I imagine that Groudon is going to Dynamax here, because Jeffrey has to start doing damage. Okay, yeah, here we see it. Jeffrey had not very good turn 1, turn 2. He probably didn't expect or didn't check enough on the Colossal lead. But now comes Groudon, and Groudon has a really good time against Colossal with his ground typing. So let's see what they decide to do, how they decide to attack. Urshifu's still on the field trying to get some hits in. Okay, no, he's just going to the text. Urshifu prefers to play it slow. And now we see Greenstar using Reflects. I think that Greenstar basically wants to set up both screens before going down.
No.
It's paralyzed here. It is faster than Groudon, but couldn't move, couldn't get a possible Grass-type move against the Groudon. And Max Quake is going to finish off the Colossal. Couldn't get all his full turns of Dynamax going, but he got the rocks up. So I think Colossal did its job.
Yes, exactly. Luckily, Colossal was not able to attack due to the full para, but I think that, yes, he did his job. The rocks are still in the field. They knock out Grimmsnarl. Then, if you can see, Groudon has just used one turn of Dynamax. Mao has all his 3 Pokemon in the field, and Incineroar has a little bit HP, so it's very close this match. I think that Jeffrey has the screens that I think that this might be something that will determine who wins this match.
Yeah, and now we see Urshifu can leave in the field. Station comes in. I was going to say that there's only one restricted left on Mauricio's side. It's going to be Station, or it's going to be Evoltal. And neither of them really want to switch in against Groudon. But we see Rillaboom protects, and Station comes in. Groudon, this move is very important. It's going to go for Fake Out here. Fake Out that doesn't help here, but obviously was targeting the Urshifu that was here. We see the Max Flare in the Sun doing some damage to Rillaboom. Of course, it's protected, so no harm down there. It's doing pretty fine. Station is going to heal almost all up to full, as while Groudon and Incineroar are going to get hit by the rocks. So they do lose some more HP. Incineroar is still alive. He has one more turn here. And I believe it's also one more turn of rocks after this turn, so Incineroar is pretty much done here after this turn, and no more Fake Out to help his team. Maybe Jeffrey wants to save it and intimidate the Station again, or try to save Incineroar for later. I'm not sure if he has all the resources necessary to do all the positioning or using party shot. It's kind of difficult. And of course, there's a Station in front now that can attack the Groudon and do a lot of damage. Rillaboom is access to Grassy Glide, also can do a lot of damage to Groudon. So you kind of want to like switch out the Incineroar, save it for later, but you don't want Groudon to get a lot of damage. So we are going to see, of course, there's the screens because of the green stars. So the screens can really help Groudon survive his turn. If Groudon has survived his turn, it's going to be really hard. We see the graphic light doesn't do a lot of damage actually. Yeah.
Let's see if he can take this Behemoth Blade. This is very important and will close the match. Yes, Groudon hangs out with 57 HP and it will go with the Max Steel Pile instead of the Max Quake that will not knock out Zacian, but it will bring his partner Zacian a +1 defense stat.
Yeah, I think Jeffrey is thinking more about the end game right now. He wants the Zacian to be as bulky as possible in order to beat the Zacian in the front, the Rillaboom, of course the Urshifu that's also waiting in the back, and they are all physical Pokemon, physical attackers. So making the defense, I don't think it's a bad call. You also have the Reflect going on, so the Zacian right now is pretty bulky. It's going to take some attack to wear him down. So I think Jeffrey is thinking about that exactly. We can see that maybe he can bring Incineroar, intimidate the Rillaboom, intimidate Zacian to bring the attack down and make his own Zacian even more bulky. And it's going to be a Zacian-centric endgame because Groudon is almost dead, Incineroar is almost dead too. They can't really do much against the rest of the team. Maybe a Fake Out if Incineroar can survive this turn. So it's all up to Zacian on Jeffrey's side. We have to see if he can tank up all the attacks that are going to come his way.
Yes, exactly. Let's see what happened. First of all, Mauricio Zacian, that is the faster Zacian in the field, will go with a Behemoth Blade that it takes so low HP from the Jeffrey Zacians. Then Jeffrey Zacian will move with the Behemoth Blade, knocking out Rillaboom, and then the Sun fade out.
Yeah, and we see that the Grassy Terrain is also healing Jeffrey Zacian, so it's even harder to KO. I think Jeffrey really thought about the end game, really thought about making Zacian as much as possible, and it's working really well. He took like 40 HP that turn, which is nothing compared to the usual damage that we see thrown around in this format. But we have Urshifu here. Urshifu, of course, can hit a lot with his Surge Strikes, but if he tries to go for Surge Strikes on the Zacian and Incineroar switches out for Groudon, meaning that the Sun comes back again, then the Water Balls on Urshifu are going to do even less damage to Zacian. So it's a bit of a tough call. We see that Urshifu tries to detect here, predicting the Fake Out from Incineroar, which we see coming out here. So good call there. But Zacian goes for Substitute. I think he's trying to stall out the Reflect and the Light Screen, but Jeffrey has the same idea, goes for a Substitute, and now that Zacian is even harder to KO. Searching Strikes possibly can break the stuff and also like get a hit maybe, depending on the damage. But Jeffrey, I think he positioned really well his endgame. We have to see if Mauricio can do enough damage on the last turns here, or try to stall out more of the Reflect and Light Screen. I think that the green side is light play, so it has like 3 turns of Reflect or more. It's gonna be hard to bring it down.
Yes, exactly. If Groudon comes up to the battlefield, it will be even harder to Mao to knock out this Zacian. This Zacian is in such good position that he can easily go and knock out both of the Mao Pokemons. But let's see. This is Pokemon, maybe a critical hit or something like that can make Mao go back to the game. Let's see the Sacred Sword from Zacian to the Groudon slot, knocking it out, and then Jeffrey Zacian will go to this with the Sacred Sword into the Urshifu, making it half HP bar. Then Urshifu will go with the Searching Strikes, hitting with critical hit 3 times, and
it's enough.
It takes the 3 hits. No, even
Oh,
with the 3 hits, it could not break the substitute, Konya.
yeah, it couldn't break the substitute. I mean, we mentioned that if Brown comes in, then Searching Strike is going to be weakened because it's a water type move, and it doesn't even break the substitute sensation. Maybe the Urshifu has to go for like close combat or something stronger to ensure that breaking the sub was a thing. But if Groudon didn't come out and 2 hits of 13 strikes would break the sub, and the first hit would hit the station and do some more damage. So I think the 13 strike was a tempting idea, but Jeffrey had it in mind. He kept the Groudon specifically for this, and now comes back Incineroar, has to fake it again, so Urshifu has to protect again, or, well, yeah, he has to protect again because if not, he's going to die to the station. But he doesn't detect actually. He eats the fake out while Station is going to come out of the substitute, use Secret Sword, going to get rid of Incineroar, and now it is Jeffrey's Session is alone in the field, but he has all the tools he needs because a Secret Sword here should KO the Urshifu, and it's going to be, yeah, it does. And now it's Station against Station, but Jeffrey Station has the screens, which is very, very important.
Yes, exactly. And this defense stat boost, I think that it was very important because he make it survive this searching strike and continue with the substitute that will make this Behemoth Blade useless or one turn one turn loss breaking the substitute, and what Jeffrey gains is a Behemoth Blade that maybe, I think that it will be destroy. Yes, it destroys the substitute and the reflex finally wore off.
Yeah, reflex wore off, but as you say, Jeffrey's Station is still a +1 defense thanks to the Steel Spike from Groudon. So maybe you want to go for Secret Sword here to ignore the defense boost. We see the Station is going to protect. I don't think the protect is really gaining anything here. So yeah, Station is going to go for the Behemoth Blade. If Jeffrey went for substitute there, I think that he would have won the match outright.
Yeah.
But well, of course he didn't. It was a very hard call right there to go for substitute. Of course, we know that Mouse Station is faster, so you want to tag. You don't want to defend really when you're the second attacker. We see the Behemoth Blade coming out on Mouse side, and Station is going to take that very well. Let's see now if this is a KO. If Jeffrey can take this game too, it all depends on the Station right now, and the Behemoth Blade is going to be
yes.
Yeah, gets the KO. Amazing play by Jeffrey to he really fought the end game for his Station to be as bulky as possible with the substitute and everything, and well, he won game 2. Very, very, very good. Like, thinking a lot ahead, it's very good.
Yes. The Max Steel Pipe was a very good idea because you can prevent this, making your defense either it's make you survive Urshifu Sessions moves. I think that this makes this session in a very good position. Also having Groudon and Incineroar as supporting Pokemon, making the Intimidates, recycling all the Intimidates, and making the Groudon or goes out the Groudon into the field, bringing back the Sun in order to Urshifu Searching Strike, making less damage. I think that it was very good adaptation from him. We saw no evil Konya.
Yeah, we saw Colossal being used here, and it seems that it wasn't the right call. I mean, I think Colossal lead against Grimmsnarl and Incineroar, it was a good call, but it did get paralysis on one turn, so he couldn't get off all the damage that he needed. So yeah, maybe there was a little bit of hack there, but I think that Colossal did really well on game 1. I don't think it's bad to change up your game plan, knowing that your opponent sometimes doesn't expect it, but it didn't work out quite as well as Dream Team really needed, as Mao needed. I mean, it wasn't that bad anyway, because if Jeffrey didn't really position his station for the end game like he did, I think that he would still have lost also after losing game one, he could have lost game two. He did bring Gastrodon, and I think that was the right call because it was Laboon in the front. So yeah, I mean, there were some adaptations on each side. Uh, I'm not sure who's going to win this game three. Honestly, I'm thinking like what they changed from game one to game two, and there were small changes here and there. Besides not bringing Gastron or bringing Yveltal, and yeah, I think it comes down to like how well do you play these games, because I don't see a clear advantage from the teams. It's basically how the players are playing. So that's going to be the most important thing. To identify correctly in each and every turn how to do this, how to protect that, and then go for the win from there. So yeah, it's really player dependent, I think. And well, we have to see game three to see who wins.
Yes. Both players had the smart games. First of all, Mau making these sessions be behind the substitute and being faster than Jeffrey wants. It gave him the victory for game one, and then in game two, all the Griffna's terms, I think that they would be, or they were very good, very good turns for Griffna. He set the screens, he used the Thunder Wave, and then the Groudon using the Max Steel Pipe, making Sasha so bulk. It was the right call for Turtle Mania. So let's see game three. I think as you say that the player that has the better game plan, it will be the one that managed to win this game three. So Juanma, if everything is prepared, we can move. Okay. So let's move to the game three. Jeffrey Bird against Mauricio León for the second match of the Ultra Cup Finals from the VCL. We have Mauricio leading with Yveltal and Seishan, and Jeffrey Bird lead the same way as the last game with Incineroar and Grizznar.
Yeah, Incineroar and Grizznar look like a very good lead now. It's unlike on game two where we saw the Colossal come in. Obviously, the Intimidate on Seishan is really, really good. And of course, the Grizznar can set up screens or go for Thunder Wave of any of these two Pokemon. It will be really, really good to slow them down. So like maybe make them not move on some turn or another. So I would say that Jeffrey definitely has the lead here, but he's not going to bring a lot of damage to the table. It's just going to disrupt the opponent basically. This is a fake out coming out on Seishan, so he's not going to move this turn. Grizzard goes for the Reflect, and Yveltal is going to taunt the Grizzard. Okay, we don't see taunt on Yveltal every day, but I think that's a really, really good start because now Grizzard can't really use Thunder Wave, can set up the light screen. Yeah, that was a good call. Good call from Mauro.
Yes, a very good call. Let's see if this turn, no Dynamax also during this turn. Let's see what's happened. Mauricio Seixas is going to hit Grizznar, but not getting the knockout. Then Yveltal will taunt the Incineroar in order to prevent the parting shot. Then Grizznar will go with the Spirit Blade, getting a lot of damage to this Yveltal.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage on Yveltal. It's actually a 2-hit KO, which is we are not used to seeing Yveltal fall so fast like a support Pokemon. But yeah, Grizznar does have access to this. Grizznar has 120 base attacks, so yeah, it does hit hard. But these taunts are working really, really well because, as we said, these are two support Pokemon. Both Incineroar and Grizznar are there to disrupt the opponent, and then the heavy hitters come in. But Taunt on Yveltal is going to stop both on their tracks. So we see the Iwata is going to come out, Incineroar is going to come in. There's not really a lot of intimidating both Incineroar or Greenstar, but you know that they have to attack, they are taunted. So they can't use most of the support moves. Maybe we say switch out or anything. No, we're going to see Station is going to go for Substitute, while Incineroar is going to go for Flare Blitz here, probably on the Station. No, it's actually it's going to be on the Voltal. So go switch in on the Incineroar, not taking a lot of damage, and another Spirit Break. Also Incineroar, very good switch by Mao, because it's probably like a wasted turn here in Jeffrey. He could have attacked Station and broke the Substitute, but no, he didn't. And now Mao has his Sashan behind the Substitute, which is really, really good. Of course, he can't even get intimidated right now if he tries to position himself back and in with Incineroar. So really, really good for Mao there.
Yes, he takes advantage of this turn. Make his Station goes behind the Substitute. It would be it was a very good call. Let's see the Behemoth Blade going to connect with Greenstar, knocking it out, and then let's see what Mao Incy did first. Jeffrey Incy moves, and it's able to knock out the Substitute. He received a cheap damage from the Flare Blitz recoil, and then the parting shot with Mao Incy going back to his Pokeball, and let's see what Pokemon Mauricio brings out. It's Rillaboom, Konya.
Yeah, I think Rillaboom is a good switching here. I think the parting shot was really good, because now you have Incineroar in the back, and you know that Jeffrey's going to have Groudon coming at that point. So saving up your Incineroar to intimidate it for later, I think that's really, really good call. We also know that if Rillaboom is here, Gastrodon won't come in. We don't know if he has Gastrodon or not, but you really don't want to bring it against Rillaboom. So like, you're forced to come in with another thing. In this case, it's going to be Station again, which again you can intimidate with Incineroar. So very good position here by Mauricio. Sorry. We can expect probably Incineroar to come again, intimidate and all that stuff. We can see another substitute from Station, because now that the grassy terrain is here, he's going to heal up here and there. But no, we see Station come out of the field. Incineroar comes back in, and now the Station is going to be intimidated, so it's at 0 attack. The Jeffrey's Incineroar is also like a -2 at this point, I think, but also the taunts were off, so he can try to go for party shot here that he tried before, but he couldn't do it. We see a fake out on the Station, and now the parting shot, as I was saying, comes out, hits Rillaboom, and Incineroar can finally go back to its Pokeball. It was denied for 3 turns ago, and Groudon is going to come out, which is very good, because Incineroar is now on the field.
Yes, exactly. Now you know that your Groudon will not be intimidated during this turn. You can Dynamax Groudon and try to knock out Incineroar, but we remember that Incineroar has his Chuka Berry, so it will be difficult but not impossible. Maybe Mauricio tries to switch the Incineroar. What do you think, Konya?
Yeah, I don't think it would be a bad idea to save up Incineroar for later, but as you said, he has the Shuka Berry, so unless there's like a double target with Station and Groudon both attacking Incineroar, he can probably get a parting shot here and like bail out for coming later. So we have to see Jeffrey identifies it. If he remembers the Shuka Berry, we see that Rillaboom is going to switch out. Evoltal is going to come in. That's a very good switch here. And we are going to see a Dynamax from Groudon, or at least I think so, because we have not seen a Dynamax yet. Okay, here it comes. Groudon does Dynamax, and this gives his access to the Max Quake, almost a Steel Spike. So even if Greenstar couldn't set up both screens because he was taunted, now Groudon can boost the defenses, both of them, whichever he wants, and make Station bulky again, as we saw on game 2. But we see another Dynamax. Is this going to be Incineroar Dynamax, once again, we kind of see one every week lately.
Yeah, I think that people enjoy dynamizing his own Incineroar, but yes, Incineroar is getting bigger once again here in the VCL Ultra Cup. Let's see what's happened. He goes with the Max Rockfall. This is to prevent Yveltal to switch in this slot, and also to prevent the Shukaberry to activate. This is a great call from Jeffrey, but let's see Incineroar going for the Max Flare into the session, knocking out his substitute and going back to set up the Sun.
Yeah, I think that there was like a lot of mind games here because Mauricio knows that Jeffrey knows that his Incineroar has Sugar Berry. So he's going to go for the Max Rockfall to not hit the super effective ground attack and proc the Sugar Berry, and instead he's going to go for the Rock move. But if Incineroar is Dynamax, he's going to leave the Max Rockfall, so then Max Quake would have been better because he boosts up his special defense. There's a lot of mind games there, and I think that Mauricio picked the right call, even if in Dynamax and Incineroar they didn't help out much because the substitute blocked the damage from the Max Flare. So Jeffrey Station is still on the field. He maybe expected to get it done like this turn, like sacrifice Incineroar Dynamax for Station, but the substitute was really, really good. We still have Yveltal here. We don't know if he really is a Sucker Punch or something that could use to his advantage.
Yes.
This is Station going for Behemoth Play, but this is going to go on the Yveltal, so Yveltal is going to go down here, and this puts Jeffrey at a 3-2 lead right now, I believe, as Groudon is going to attack with another Max Rockfall, but against the Max Guard it's going to do absolutely nothing.
Yes, exactly. I think that it was not so bad for Mauricio to go for the Dynamax Incineroar. Remember that Grimmsnarl did a lot of damage to the Yveltal, and Seishan having this Behemoth Blade hitting the double when you Dynamax, Yveltal would be knockout despite everything that Dynamaxing hit. So I think that it's a good play. Maybe you can Dynamax, or you could Dynamax Rillaboom, but I think that it was a good move. Let's see if this Inci help Mauricio to win this game 3.
It's a bit of a tall order to ask Incineroar to be like the savior here. I think he's just done probably all that he had to do for Mauricio, but we're going to see. We never know until we see it. Speaking of seeing it, we see Incineroar right here entering the field, intimidating the other Incineroar, but also intimidating the Station, which is very important here. We see Incineroar coming out. Okay, I did not expect that. He's going to withdraw the Incineroar before his Dynamax runs out. He still has one more turn if possible. And Rillaboom is going to hit the field, maybe expecting a Max Quake to hit that slot so he can bring in Rillaboom and not take a lot of damage. We see Station going for substitute here. Of course, he's at like half health right now, so not the best of positions, and he's intimidated. He's at 0 attack. We see the Max Rockfall hitting on where the Incineroar was, so it's going to hit Rillaboom for neutral damage, but it does bring up the Sand. I'm not sure if the Sand is good or bad right now for any of these players, honestly. But it's not like Max Quake is going to do much because there's only physical attackers left, so boosting up the special defense, not the greatest, we have to say.
Yes, exactly. See what will do Incineroar in the rest of the game, because you switch out Incineroar not doing damage during your last turn of Dynamax, because you want to save the Intimidate. That is the key things to have in mind for the rest of this match. They are taking a very strategic turn to turn. in order to win the match. They know that Groudon has to be intimidated. They know that Rillaboom has the fake out, and Zacian needs to knock out Groudon as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's true. Also, I believe that Reflect has left the field. That Reflect set up greens now, like on the first turn. So there's no more boost on the physical side. On the side of Jeffrey, we see that Incineroar is going to come out. So no fake up from Rillaboom. Instead, Incineroar comes in and intimidates, and we see Zacian go for Sacred Sword on the Incineroar's slot. Not a KO, but a lot of damage, of course. And we see Groudon go for Precipice Blade. It's going to fail on the Zacian. Zacian is going to evade the Precipice Blade, so he gets to keep the Substitute and Incineroar. Even with the Shuka Berry, it's not enough, and it's going to go down to the Precipice Blade. Still, that's harsh for the Groudon, for Jeffrey. Even if Party Shot does hit, remember that some moves do bypass Substitute, so Party Shot will work on the Substitute of Zacian. So now most Zacian is at -1 attack, very, very bad when you think about it. And Jeffrey Zacian comes in the field, good, looking really, really good.
Yes, exactly. As you said, Konya, I think that despite of the miss, Jeffrey continues in a very good position, because he can protect the Zacian right here, and then you can or switch out the Groudon or continue hitting with the Groudon, because the Pokemon that has to win the match here now is your Zacian. If you protect your Zacian, you can knock out both Rillaboom and Zacian.
Yeah, exactly. And now we know that mouse Zacian is faster. Okay, well, there's not going to be speed type here or anything really, because we see Incineroar coming out again from the Jeffrey side. Of course, the Intimidate is not going to work on the Substitute of Zacian, but it does work on the Rillaboom, and now Groudon should be able to live maybe a little more. Okay, no, just goes for Fake Out, doesn't bust out the Grassy Glide just yet. We see Zacian go for Sacred Sword now on the Groudon slot. That's not going to do really a lot of damage. And Groudon uses Heat Crush. First time we see its Fire type move is going to Heat Crush on the Rillaboom, and that will be enough to KO. Now Mao has only Zacian on his side against 3 Pokemon. The Sand actually not helping Jeffrey because his Incineroar is getting very, very low. I feel like maybe a Flare Blade recoil damage plus the Sand could kill Incineroar. So maybe if Mao focuses down on the Groudon, well, also attacks on the Groudon, maybe he can get a possible 2-hit KO. Maybe it's looking very harsh for Mauricio right now.
Yes. I think that Mauricio thought that Groudon would switch out and Incineroar will came out from this side. That's why the Sacred Sword, but I think that switching out Zacian was a very good move from Jeffrey, and the Heat Crush did enough damage in order to take out the Rillaboom, and now as you see it's 3 versus 1. So I think that it would be very difficult for Mauricio to win this game.
Yeah, and we see that he switches out his Incineroar. He wants to save up that Intimidate, that possible Flare Blitz to end up the game. So he's playing it safe, trying to keep up all his resources that he can for the end game. We see Zacian hitting Zacian, not for a lot of damage. He doesn't try to like double down on the Groudon. He just keeps it aggressive against his Groudon spawner. We see the Heat Crush here coming out. It's going to break Zacian's Substitute, and now Mauricio has no defenses left. He has to tank the attacks, and against the Groudon, it's going to be really difficult. Of course, Groudon is at -1, so he can try to leave a Heat Crush, but plus a Behemoth Blade. But it's looking really difficult. I do not really see a way for Mauricio to win that easily. Maybe like try to play against an opponent's mid-play or something. Like you have to get creative here to try to find a way to your win.
Yes, exactly. Here we can see Incineroar coming out to the battlefield, intimidating Mauricio Zacian. Let's see. Mauricio target, and it will be the Groudon, now Incineroar, and it's not able to KO Incineroar. The Sandstorm faded, and now Jeffrey has one fake out and a substitute if he wants to play as quiet as possible.
Yeah, I think that plus substitute here is probably going to just speed up this game free. Yeah, I think Mauricio knew that maybe he really need a miracle right there to stop Jeffrey. I mean, I think that Jeffrey just played out perfectly on those last two free turns. Positioning himself, he wasn't really going for the KO on station. He knew that he played it right. There was no way for his Pokemon to fall in battle. So pretty good calls, pretty good defensive calls, and gets a victory that he deserves, basically.
Yes, it was very tactical game where every Pokemon switch out, switch in, and you have to always look at your Pokemon stats. For example, which one was intimidated, which one no, if the reflex were in the field or not. So that was a very great game. I think that it's a candidate to be the best game of this stream, or we have to see the others.
Yeah, I mean, we do have to see the rest, but something that was really important, at least for this game for me, is like, of the 8 Pokemon that came to the field, like, the 8 were important. Like, Yveltal did the tons, all stations attacked pretty well, all the Incineroars came in and intimidated all they had to do, Rillaboom with the Fake Out, Groudon with all the Dynamax. Like, every Pokemon did a thing in that match. It wasn't like, oh, Pokemon comes in, gets KO'd, and they're like, that's nothing. It usually happens, we say, oh, he misplayed his Groudon, or he misplayed his Prisma, didn't go for this or that. They all had a role in this match. I think that just Jeffrey played it a little better and got the win. Got the win, basically.
Yes, was he plays very, very well. So let's move to the other match that we have during the stream. We know now when Juanma switch out the scene that now it's one-on-one. Sableye luckily wins this match and puts the series in one-on-one. So let's see what we have on the next match. Juanma, si está por ahí, pasa a la siguiente fotito. Ahí está. Okay. We have Sableye BGC Ryan Luceto against Abraham Horta Stats Abbey. Both are very, very senior players. They play from a long time ago. I remember both of them facing in some tournaments, for example, the Copa America and this kind of competitions. You know them too, Konya.
Yeah, I know they are both very experienced players. I'm not sure if I played against Ryan sometime. I know I played against Abby a lot back in the day. So yeah, really good to see them both here this very important match.
Yeah. So we have another Sasha Yveltal team. This one has Incineroar, Among Us, Gotitel, and Reshieleki. It's a very difficult team to play because they can go for the trick room, or they can play with Yveltal, making these max airstreams in order to get the speed up. And in the other side we have Groudon Sargent with Incineroar, Venusaur, Porygon 2, and Thundurus.
Yeah, basically it's funny because we just saw Sage and Groudon against Sage and Yveltal. So like the Resilient duo is exactly the same, but the rest of the teams are very, very different. I mean, besides Incineroars, it's like basically the same. So on Ryan's side, we have basically a couple of cores together. We see Venusaur next to Groudon, of course, the Sun plus the Chlorophyll boost, which is always very good. We see Thunderous, if it's Defiant, helping out the session. So if they try to intimidate session, and we saw a lot of intimidating session in the last game, Thunderous is there to get the Defiant boost, and now with Dynamax to use Max Airstream, Max Knuckle, Max Lightning to really put a lot of pressure on the opponent's team, a lot of damage that helps out to get the KOs that Sessions need. And on Ali's side, we see Session in Belchel, but we also see Incineroar and Regieleki both kind of supporting the first two, and we see some kind of Trick Room mode, because we see Amoonguss and we see VCL, or maybe they are more like anti-Trick Room, because they are both Pokemon that work very well in Trick Room, especially Amoonguss. I think that VCL is like tries to trap the opponent against like Pokemon that they don't want to be in. For example, if you can trap Venusaur in front of Yveltal, suddenly Yveltal can Dynamax, go for Max Airstream, and Venusaur is gone. Or, for example, if you have Taunt with VCL or Taunt with Incineroar, for example, you can taunt Porygon, and now he can do Trick Room, he can go for Eerie Impulse, or can he go for Recover, for Trick Room, for anything, really. So, VCL just tries to trap the opponent in situations they don't want to be. You have to be careful, but also VCL, it has some bulk, but not the best bulk in the format, so you have to play really well, basically.
Konya, are we going to see some blind hypnosis here? Or you don't think so?
It's possible, yeah. VCL can go for hypnosis like right out of the bat instead of going for like Fake Out or Trick Room, Muddy Switch, Helping Hand, Heal Pulse. They have a lot of options. Obviously, hypnosis is really, really good, but you have to hit it, which is it's kind of the problem with the move in general. We also have to see if Venusaur has to powder. So there's a lot of sleepy moves possible here besides Amoonguss.
Exactly. So let's move to the game one. Juanma, could you say? Okay, yes. So now we are going to see the first game. Juanma, si podés, dale, sí. Ahí está. Entonces, let's move to the game one of this second match of the VCL Ultra Cup finals. We are the series is 1-on-1, so this point is very important for both teams. Let's see what they bring out. First of all, Abraham starts with Gotitel and Yveltal, and Ryan goes with Groudon and Venusaur. What do you think, Konya?
Well, there's something that I said right now that like if you can trap the Venusaur with Yveltal in the field, like it's going to have to eat an Airstream and not have a good time. Well, I think that Abby realized this and got exactly what he wanted. He has Yveltal right in front of Venusaur. Venusaur cannot switch out, Groudon cannot switch out either. We see a Dynamax coming right off the bat, and it's probably going to be Yveltal getting ready with his Max Airstream. Also, we don't know if Venusaur or Groudon could Dynamax here, but the one who doesn't has to watch out for Gothitel's Fake Out, this move that Gothitelle got in Gen 8. Like, it's very recent, but it's a very, very good move to have. And we see no Dynamax coming from Ryan. Instead, Venusaur is going to protect. Gothitelle is going to Fake Out on the Venusaur, so good call there. And we see Max Airstream also use on Venusaur, who has the Kova Berry and also protected, so this is going to be a very, very weak Airstream. Yeah, we see Venusaur takes it like a champ, but we have to see what Groudon went for. Probably, I mean, he may have like a Rock Tomb or a Rock Tomb to like try to slow down the Yveltal. Let's see what they have to do as Yveltal shows that it's Life Orb. Yeah, there it is, Rock Tomb. That's a very good move to have here because even with the Airstream boost, now he's back to normal, and Venusaur stays being the fastest thing on the field. So I think like Abby had a good lead, had a good idea for turn one, but Ryan knew about this, and oh, the sleep powder comes out now and it hits the Yveltal. we see the Yveltal was life force, so there was no safety goals, but Yveltal, I like he can carry sometimes, but we also see Hypnosis. Okay, this is a really fun match to watch.
Yes, exactly. We talk about this in the team preview, and now it's come here. We have two Pokemon sleeps. First, the Evil Tal. I think that Ryan was trying to know what item Evil Tal has, and once he knows that he has life orb, then he goes for the sleep powder. And Gotitel, being at +1, it started also to go for the hypnosis. Okay, first time of sleep for Eviltal, then the Weather Balls goes to the Gotitel slot, making it 27-30%, and then the hypnosis that means this is very interesting turn. The hypnosis did not connect, but Yveltal goes back to normal, Koyen.
Yeah, it really looked like Yveltal had a very, very good lead with Gotitel next to him, but Dynamax is over and Venusaur is still on the field. He couldn't get rid of the Venusaur right away. We see a protect from Venusaur, maybe thinking that Yveltal is going to get... Oh, actually, no, he doesn't wake up. He still stays asleep. Gotitel goes for another hypnosis. This time against the protect, he doesn't help up, and Groudon now gets up. This Groudon is very much awake and goes for the Heat Crush on the Gothitelle. Not enough for the KO, just about. So there's still some hope for Abby here. It has to believe because Abby had a great lead for the start, but now he's lost his Dynamax. His Yveltal is asleep, and Venusaur and Groudon are still very healthy right here. Of course, they still have to dodge the possible hypnosis that's going to come from Gothitelle, so it's not like he's in the greatest of positions. He has to target the Gothitelle. He wants to get rid of the hypnosis, but he also wants to target out the Yveltal. Like we see Ally Switch coming out. Yeah, he had the Ally Switch waiting right there for them. We see the Werball. It was going for Gothitelle, but it's now going to attack the Yveltal. It does some damage, not a lot, and now Yveltal finally wakes up and goes for the Oblivion Wing. This is going to hit on Venusaur, probably getting the KO. Yeah, gets the KO, and it's going to get a lot of health back. So it's like Abby finally gets his footing back. Yveltal almost at full health. And Groudon, let's see if he predicted it, Ally Switch, or maybe just targeted it bad. No, yeah. It is the Rock Tomb. It's going to hit on Gothitelle. So Gothitelle goes down. That's good news for Ryan. But Yveltal is still on the field, still healthy, and you really wanted to get rid of it.
Yes, exactly. I think that it wasn't so much important, this Ally Switch, because finally Yveltal can recover his HP back to normal. Gothitelle finally is knocked out, so now Ryan can switch out Pokemon with no problem. Let's see, because they are 3-3, but Ryan also has the Dynamax. He can Dynamax Groudon, for example, or the other Pokemon that is in his back. So I think that he's a bit just in a good position, not so good, but the Dynamax can be a very, very important key to win this game.
Yeah, since Ryan still has his Dynamax available, I would say that Ryan is in the best position right now, because how do you KO a Groudon if his Dynamax is, if it has like a Soul Vest or something to really tank the attacks? Even if we see both stations now on the field, we know that Groudon is going to really take the attack very well. We see actually that Yveltal goes back to the field, and Incineroar comes back in. He's going to intimidate both Station and both Groudon, so it's a really good switching for Incineroar. You really want to intimidate these two. We see Dynamax on this case, on Ryan's case. This is going to be Groudon, of course, and you can really Dynamax Station. So Groudon is going to hit really hard here. He has Station and Incineroar in the front, so Max Quick will do a lot of damage. I think that Abby knows this, and he's forced to intimidate the Groudon to like not have a lot of damage on him done on this turn specifically. We are going to see a Session going to protect. Yeah, you have to play defensive here. You don't want to eat a lot of damage. We see that Ryan's Session is totally to go for a substitute, not a defensive play, but a Behemoth blade that comes out and hits the Incineroar, not for a lot of damage, of course, it's zero attack, so Incineroar takes it really, really well, and we see a Max Quake coming from Groudon. This is going to hit on the station. Okay, his station there are protected, so not a lot of damage. I think that Abby did a very good positioning here, so he didn't get a lot of damage then.
Yes, a very good defensive turn for Abby. He knows that Seishan was going to be hit by the Max Quake because it does a lot of damage, but also increase the special defense stats for Groudon. So the Inci came very good. But now let's see what's happened here. Seishan go back to his Pokeball, and Incineroar came out to the battlefield. The Fake Out goes to the Incineroar, and then Seishan goes to his substitute. Behind the substitute, I see that Ryan also goes for the Max Rollfall, trying to catch out Yveltal in the switch, but no, Yveltal continue in the back. Let's see what happened, but I don't think, we don't know if Incineroar has the Shuka Berry, but it's very low the HP that finish that came into the Incineroar, so he lives another turn, and this is very complicated for Ryan that only has one turn left of the Dynamax.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like Ryan has been using his Dynamax Surge very well. I mean, he did the right calls, well, somewhat of the right calls, but he can't get the KOs as he needs right now. So Abby is still right there, surviving as he can. We see a Protect from Station that is behind a substitute, so Abby really wants to stall out his Dynamax. Groudon go for massive spike on the substitute is going to be blocked by the Protect, or block some damage by the Protect, so it is going to stay up. It's not going to be able to break it. Maybe a Max Quake would have been able to, but he probably didn't want to raise his special defense. The physical defense is much better. We see there was a double down on the station, but he protected pretty well, so good on Abby right here. He's defending himself very well, and the parting shot here makes Incineroar switch out of the field, and Yveltal is going to come in as Groudon is going to get tiny again because the Dynamax will be gone.
Yeah, I think that this match or this game will be very important. The speed of both Asians, like that we saw in the last match, because I'm thinking of what will be happen here. And then if Sessions came in, he can easily knock out Yveltal, but we might see Session versus Session late game. I think that this in that case the speed of both Sessions will be very important. So let's see because Groudon is very has very low his attack stats. Let's see, the Sacred Sword goes to the Incineroar slot, but it will be not so much to get the knockout. Then Yveltal will go to the Oblivion Wind to the same slot, knocking out Incineroar. Yes, Groudon, I said that he has no more attack. He has very low attack stat, but he will continue hitting this station, and I think that this is the time when the substitute fades out, and then it will be a 2 versus 3 coin.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to see Station coming again for Ryan's side, but he also is doing a lot of damage, honestly, every time he touches the field. Remember that he was asleep before, so he couldn't use a lot of his Dynamax, but those Oblivion Winds are healing him a lot back. We see that he's still almost at full HP after eating like a couple of hits on the early game. As you were saying, also we don't know the speeds of the station, but those are really, really important right now. Obviously, in the late game, you really want your station to be the fastest thing on the field. We see that Abby is going to switch out and bring in Incineroar. Of course, you want to intimidate both Groudon, both Station. Basically, Incineroar was saved specifically for this moment, so you can intimidate these both physical attackers. You know that Incineroar doesn't have a lot of HP left, so I don't think he's going to really survive this turn, but he's doing his job really, really well. We see Station go for Behemoth Blade. He's going to hit on the Evil Cell, doing some good damage. Okay, it really comes down to Groudon being able to get the KO here. He's going to go for Heat Wave. It's going to show that he has a fire move that's going to hit on Station, doing a lot of damage. That was really, really good. And Precipice Blade, so no possible Rock Tomb on the Evil Cell, and Incineroar shows his true cavalry. So I think here Ryan was trying to really get the KO on the Station, but obviously Abby saved it for later. So it's Incineroar here. That shows the true cavalry, so that's good information for the upcoming games. But you really don't want to KO the Incineroar here. You really want to KO the Evil Cell, and of course that is not affected by Precipice Blade. So not the best turn, I would say, for Ryan, but now it's 2 versus 2. Now it's really where the resources are really running out, and we're going to have to see which station is going to move first. This is going to really, I think it's really going to get defined by who attacks first.
Yes, that would be very important, and I think that Ryan needs to knock out Seishan during this turn, so it is a key. Let's see. Seishan goes for Protect. I don't understand. Okay, the Seishan goes for Behemoth Blade in the slot of the Ryan Seishan, and then Oblivion with hit on the Groudon. I think that Groudon maybe goes for the Rock Tomb. Let's see if it's like this. Yes, it's going to the Rock Tomb to the other Seishan. I think that what Ryan wants is his Seishan being faster than Abram AB Seishan.
Yeah, maybe Ryan knew beforehand that his station is slower than the usual stations that we see. So like if you know that you're going to always attack last, I think that's a good call to like protect and then go for the Rock Tomb on the opposing station. You know that Groudon is a -3 attack, so like Groudon is not doing a lot of damage, but he has the support move with Rock Tomb that can drop the speed of Station, and now Ryan Station is objectively the fastest thing on the field. He can freely attack the event. Oh, let's just need to protect. Let's see if Ryan sees his protect coming, or he doesn't see it coming. He's going to attack into the Evil Cell, and now Abby Station can attack. He's going to go for the Behemoth Blade. Let's see if this is enough to get the necessary KO here. It's going to hit the Station, and it will get a KO. Ryan did not predict correct on the protect there with Evil Cell, and now Groudon has a free attack. Goes for Rock Tomb also on the Evil Cell. I don't think that Ryan got the... how did I say this? He made the bad call, let's say.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's not the best decision for him. I don't know why he did not focus or target the Seishan, but okay, that's all I think, because Behemoth Blade at +1 from the AB Seishan, I think that it will be enough to get the knockout. Let's see. Let's see what is no,
Oh.
it's not Groudon +1.
No.
With a defense +1 resist the Seishan Behemoth Blade, but I think that the game was over a long time ago. I think that Ryan, I don't know why he did not target the Seishan. Okay, I think that he saw the protect on the Seishan, but I think that it will be worth to go for a Seishan instead, because Yveltal could not do such a great damage. I think that maybe Ryan thought that full play will be enough to knock out the Seishan, and that's why he focused on the Yveltal, but I don't think so. I don't know, it was a very strange move, or at least for me, but
And
Uh,
we did see that Yveltal had the heat wave, so he could do a lot of damage to
yeah.
station. I
Mm,
mean that's like an important thing. But we did see that the Human Blade wasn't a KO on Groudon. We did see that well, actually, we didn't see because it didn't connect. But we maybe Groudon didn't have enough damage to kill his station, so he tried to prefer. If you don't know if your Groudon is going to KO, maybe you want your station to be able to get a KO. So there could be like a couple of things that like some damage calcs that maybe Ryan wasn't sure of, so he preferred to like play it safe, go for the Eel Salt because the station got speed drop from Rock Tomb. So you expect the station to protect. So maybe you want to go for the Eel Salt. I don't think it was I don't think it was a bad decision, but Abby made the right call.
yeah.
He protected the Yveltal and it worked out pretty well. Maybe like you don't want to go with both Groudon and Station onto the Yveltal because if he protects, maybe you can attack one on both. One attack the you attack one slot, and maybe you can get some damage even if you don't particularly protect very well. But after that, I think it was Ali making the right call there for the organization.
Exactly. But this is not over yet, Konya. We have game 2 and possible game 3. So maybe with some adjustment, Ryan will be able to win the game 2. Or instead, maybe Abby can win this game 2 and um, make it the series 2-on-1. But for that, we have to see the next match. So if you are ready, Konya, we can move forward to game 2.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, Juanma, are you ready? Okay, so let's move to the game 2. And this is it. Here is the game 2 between Ryan Loseto and Abraham Horta. Let's see what they choose to bring out. For Abraham's side, we see Eviltal and Among Us, and from Ryan, he made the same choice as last game. He started with Groudon and Venusaur. Konya.
Yeah, we do see that the same Benudon lead, which it wasn't like bad, but of course you don't want to be trapped because Eviltal with Venusaur, even if it did work out for Ryan in the end, but it was more because of the sleep powders, the noses misses, and all that. We do see Among Us here, and Among Us is not the greatest against Venusaur and Groudon. It can use Spore on Groudon, like maybe a Grass Knot could do a lot of damage, but you can't really do a lot of against Venusaur, and Groudon does have the Sun to like hit you with a Fire type move. So yeah, Among Us is going to protect here. It's like his Rage Powder wasn't helping a lot here. We see that Venusaur is going to go for a Sleep Powder, and it does connect on the Eviltal once again. Turn 1, the Sleep Powder gets on the Eviltal, and obviously it's going to get his first turn of sleep, and Groudon over Heat Crush on the Among Us, of course, bouncing against the Protect. So pretty predictable turn 1, I would say. Like Among Us Protect, Eviltal tries to attack, but of course he couldn't. Good on Navi because he didn't waste his Dynamax, he Dynamax Eviltal and went to sleep. It would have been really bad. But we see Incineroar coming out here for Among Us. Among Us again wasn't really doing a lot against his duo, so I think it's good to just switch it out, leave it out for a later part of the match. And well, we see Venusaur going for Water Ball, so targeting down on the Among Us, but Incineroar is here, and the Water Ball is Fire type, so not doing a lot of damage there. Eviltal stays asleep, so no first turn wake for him, and Precipitous Lace is going to connect against the Incineroar, but it's a Groudon on -1, and there's a Shuka Berry, so not a lot of damage here. Yeah, Incineroar takes it really well.
Yes, a good defensive turn for Abby. I think that Abby is trying to defend until Eviltal wakes up. I think that when Eviltal wakes up, he can easily go with the Oblivion Wind to Venusaur slot in order to turn down the Kova Berry and then being able to knock out it. I think that this is the problem here, but first of all, we have Groudon leaving the battlefield and Incineroar switching in. Let's see if Abby goes with the fake out. No, Abby decided to withdraw it, and Among Us re-entered to the battlefield. Venusaur goes for Protect, probably expecting the fake out and the Yveltal wakes up, but did not happen, so another defensive turn, Konya.
Yeah, and Venusaur was trying to protect there, like maybe expecting Yveltal to wake up, but it didn't. So Yveltal gets a 3-turn sleep treatment. Now he's guaranteed to wake up, but Venusaur cannot protect against Yveltal right now. So you may want to switch out, or like I mean, you don't want to lose Venusaur right here, even if you're against an Among Us, which you can go for Weather Ball and try to KO it. Of course, Incineroar can also Flare Blitz it. So Among Us is not in the greatest of positions here. But you want to attack with Venusaur, of course, but the Yveltal waking up is not going to work for you. So it's a tough call here to know what to do with Venusaur. Okay, we do see it come back, so no risk there. Let's go for Station entering the field. Let's see if Abby can predict this, because a 4 on the Venusaur here would be really, really great for him. We do see a Dynamax, so yeah. Abby knows that Yveltal won't stay asleep anymore, so this is a good call also to avoid the fake out. So Abby, he knows what he's doing, basically.
Yes, exactly. Yveltal can easily go for the Max Earth into the Venusaur slot, and Among Us can follow it with the Spore in order to prevent the switching. But no! Oh, okay, yes! Remember that Yveltal has his way, and he prefers to go for the Max Flare that connect and also knock out the station. Let's move to the Incineroar that goes for the Flare Blitz. That is not enough to go down for the Among Us that is going to go for the Spore into the Incineroar, and I think that Ryan is having very tough turn here.
Yeah, very, very tough actually. I thought the Among Us was Sash for a moment, but no, it didn't activate a focus. It just left the Flurries in the sun from Incineroar. So very, very good for Abby that Among Us was survival was really good. Now Incineroar has to stay asleep for at least 2 turns because he can't wake up here. He did go to sleep like last on the turn. And we see Venusaur coming in again against the Yveltal who's Dynamax already, so again, not the best of positions. You kind of have to go for a Sleep Powder and pray that you get the 75 accuracy on your favor. Really, really good on Abby to use the Max Flare. Like, he knew that Venusaur was reaching out, but the Max Flare was... I mean, you kind of want to go for Max Flare strings for the speed and everything, but he chose Max Flare, taking advantage of the sun, and that was really good because Ryan lost his station. His best Pokemon was out and out on the turn to wake up. So we see, okay, Among Us is going to switch out, maybe trying to activate his regenerator for later. We see Incineroar coming in, so there's Intimidate on Incineroar and the Venusaur. Not a lot of use on Intimidate, but you can use the Follow Me, the Fake Out on the next turn. Let's see if Venusaur does go for the Sleep Powder. Okay, Yveltal is going to Max Guard to prevent the Sleep Powder. Yeah, I think that Abby really knew what Ryan was looking for here. And Incineroar obviously going to stay asleep, and now Venusaur is again in a very bad spot, not only because of the sun running out, so like Ryan has to bring in Groudon instead of in the spot of Incineroar if he wants Venusaur to be the fastest thing on the field, but also Abby can go for the Fake Out plus the Airstream on the Venusaur, and there's nothing Venusaur can do about it. You don't really want to switch out, make Groudon have a lot of damage taken from the Airstream, so again, Yveltal is doing really, really good in this matchup.
Yes. Venusaur has to go for the Protect in order to resist this move, and Yveltal knows it, so he's going to hit the Incineroar before he sleeps. So +1 for Yveltal, +1 for Incineroar, and also knock out the Incineroar. The Flare Blitz from Abby Incineroar is going to hit on Venusaur Protect, and now I think that's the only opportunity that has Ryan to win this game too, and not to lose the match against Abby, who wins the game one, is to connect this sleep powder.
Yeah, is even at a +2 speed right now?
No, because Max Guard, Max Flare, and Max Airstream only
Okay,
plus
yeah,
one.
so cool. So here is the Electro is a +1, so Venusaur is faster right now. He can go for a sleep powder. It's not the best position for Ryan, but I feel like he has to go for it. He does use the Dynamax finally. It's going to be Groudon here using the Dynamax, so this is the last chance for Ryan to like try to take this set, take a game, take some momentum back for him and for his apprentice Aegislash. We see the Groudon Dynamaxing. Of course, the Incineroar is on the field right now, so you can intimidate it right away. We see Venusaur going for his Sleep Powder, and it's going to connect on the Yveltal. Finally, Venusaur gets the Yveltal slowed down for him. Yveltal is going to sleep, so no harm there. And Incineroar, thanks to the Airstream, is faster than the Groudon, and that makes it the parting shot go first. That's bad news for Ryan. Abby is going to save his Incineroar for later, and now Groudon is a -1 attack, which you don't really want to do. You really want to see on your Dynamax Pokemon. We see Amoonguss coming back in.
Yes, yes, and let's see if this Max Quake is enough to knock out Among Us, and yes it is, Konya. Among Us is knocked out of the battlefield, and this will bring out Incineroar again. I think that this will be AB choose, but what AB choose, but let's see.
Okay, he does bring Incineroar back again on the field. It is important to know, though, that even if Groudon is a -2 right now, the Incineroar doesn't have the Sugar Berry anymore. So maybe if Yveltal stays asleep and both Venusaur and Groudon target Incineroar, it's possible that they can try to take out Incineroar before Yveltal can wake up. Of course, Incineroar does have the fake out possibility on Venusaur, but you know, maybe a crate, a match crate or something could take out Incineroar now that the Sugar Berry is gone. We see no fake out here. Actually, it's going to go for Weather Ball on the Incineroar. It's going to do some damage, but the Max Quake is the important thing here. No! Yveltal wakes up! Yveltal wakes up fast here, and Venusaur is going to go down to the Heat Wave. Was a critical hit, but I don't think that it mattered. The Venusaur, I don't think is going to live that attack. Yveltal loses HP from the Life Orb, and now Max Quake from the ground is going to hit on the Incineroar, and it's going to actually get the KO. Oh, so if Yveltal stays asleep, that would have been really good for Ryan. Actually, would put it back in the game, but no, he lost Venusaur, and now Yveltal and possibly Station, I believe, the last Pokemon on Abby's side, are going to stare down on this Groudon. It has one more turn of Dynamax, so he's not going to go out yet, but I do believe that Abby is in a better position here.
Yes, yes, I think that thinking about what needs Ryan in order to win this game too, I think that maybe a crit from Groudon Max Quake that be enough to knock out the session, maybe, but let's see. Yveltal goes for the protect, and Session do the same, and because of this, I think that the possibility to win this game is 0, because due to the protects, Groudon is going not to do a lot of damage to Session, and then he turns back to the normal, waiting for Session +1 Behemoth Blade, and then Yveltal attack. That can be Oblivion Wing, Heat Wave, or the last move that, as now, Yveltal has not shown us.
Yeah, exactly. Groudon did get a special defense boost, so as you can see, Oblivion Wing is not going to do a lot of damage actually. And Yveltal is going to heal up a bit, but the Life Orb is going to take it back down, so there's not even an HP gain here. The utilization go for the Substitute, so even harder to bring out now. And we see Groudon go for the Precipice Blade. It's going to connect on the Station, so the Substitute is gone. But if Abby keeps going for Oblivion Wing plus his Substitute, that's going to be like 3 or 4 turns where Groudon has to keep attacking the Station. to like then finally be able to hit the evil cell once the station is gone, because you have to go for evil cell for station first. You cannot target down the evil cell until the station is gone. We see the dark pulse here, so maybe going for a flinch possibly. That would be really good for Abby. You know that he's not going to recover a lot of HP. There goes the substitute on the station. Let's see if a Heat Crush or a Precipitous. Yeah, he keeps going for Precipitous Blades. I feel like Heat Crush would still get the stop breaking, so you don't have to risk missing. But so far, hit the ball. The substitute on station is broken. The sun is gone, so now Heat Crush actually does less damage. Maybe he was looking for that too. And he does have to avoid these Dark Pulse flinches. So let's see. Evil Cell tries again with the Dark Pulse. Groudon is very bulky right now. He's taking the hits really well. Station goes for his last substitute. He doesn't have any more SP for another one. And Groudon flinches and can't move. That 20% flinch rate on Dark Pulse is actually going to shut down the last hope for Ryan. He can't KO both Pokemon now. We see another Dark Pulse, but the important thing is going to be the Behemoth Blade coming from stations from Abby. We see Behemoth Blade. This should be enough to kill the Groudon. If it's not, I feel like Evil Cell should get the job done on the last turn. Yeah, it's enough. So win for Abby, game 2 set, and 2 versus 1 for Dream Team.
Exactly, Konya. And this is very good play from Abby. I think that he knows that he can go for the Behemoth Blade and try to win easier or faster, but he recognized that going for the substitute and trying to receive a miss or a flinch from the Groudon, it was the best play possible, because you can win always. So I think that this is the correct, and we saw the same thing in the first match when Turtlemania started to switch out the Incineroar for the Fake Out and Intimidate, and Sessions go to the substitute. So we are having very tactical terms here, and I think that this shows us the level that the players have. I don't know if you think the same, Conan?
Yeah, I do think the same. I do like seeing Evil Cell. I feel like Evil Cell was really good on like all the games that he was brought in. That he put in a lot of work, and I'm not sure if Venusaur was always the right call to bring. Of course, you do want the sleep powders because they're really good, of course, if you can hit them. So they did stop a lot of Evil Cell's power. You know, game 1 is of the Dynamax, then in game 2, like, Evil Cell was really in a good position, but it actually didn't Dynamax expecting the sleep powders, got hit by it, and then after the sleep turns and everything, he could Dynamax freely and finally get the air streams going and everything. Venusaur really couldn't do a lot of things in the match thanks to Evil Cell being there. So yeah, very good showing by Evil Cell so far, very good show by Abby. I think that the team worked really well, and well, got the win.
Yes. And now in the stream we have one-on-one, one for Evildon and another one for Sashan plus Groudon.
That is true, yeah.
It's a tie. So, Juanma, si podés mostrarnos cómo va todo esto. Perfect. Okay, so now we can see how is it going as far the match between the Twin Team and Apprentice Flash. We saw in the stream first in the when the stream started, we saw Turtlemania Jeffrey Bird beating Mao Trainer 2-on-1, and then now minutes ago Abraham Horta Stat Savvy 2 Sableye 0. That shows up the 2-on-1 partially set between these two teams in the VCL finals, Ultra Cup finals. So what will happen, Sonia? Do you have some favorites?
No, I don't think I have a favorite here. Even if I know more of the Mexican people, the Dream Team people, like I know them personally, everything. Based on the plays they've been doing, like I don't really have a favorite here. I just want to see how they can earn this win because they're playing really really well. They're making like really good plays here and there. The teams are very interesting. Even if they are teams like we know we have seen coming, they are still like piloting really really well. And well, we do see Dream Team being 2-1, so one more win would give them the Ultra Cup final win. But there's Damo still, there's Sven still. I think that we have seen both Damo and Sven win on stream. We have casted them before, so we know that they can do it. So there's still a possibility for a comeback. I really want to see how they manage it.
Exactly. And the next game that we have is the one from Kenneth Gamboa, the former Desafío Latam 2 champion, and Damo Lockmick. So I think that this will be a very interesting game to see. Let's see the team preview of these two players, and let's try to find out what are they bringing here. Okay, first we have Damo with Seishan and Calyrex Shadow Rider, and in the other hand we have Calyrex Ice and Palkia. Very good teams, Konya.
Yeah, we do see like this. I like to call it like the triple starter team with Incineroar, Rillaboom, and Blastoise. Like, it's a really good core behind the three of them, so I think they work out pretty well. We do see that Seishan and the Calyrex Shadow, obviously the hardest physical attacker and the fastest special attacker of the format, so they work really really well together. And of course, it's a Thunderous for the Defiant boost on the the Defiant support for the Seishan, so that you can just come and intimidate the Seishan because it will give the Thunderous the boost, and then Thunderous is going to run over you. So it's a pretty good team. We have seen it before, like we see variants of it before with the Seishan and the Calyrex. We have to see how well Damo plays it out. I do want to see the Blastoise because I think that the Cannonade could be really it could be really good use. But also we have to take into factor that Kenneth has both Palkia and Tapu Fini, which are immune to the Cannonade. So, and of course there's also Rillaboom, which you don't want to have in front of a Blastoise. So maybe Blastoise is going to be a little bit hard to use, but it could be really interesting. Of course, on Kenneth's side, we do see that it's basically a full trick routine. We see Calyrex and we see Palkia, both with access to the Trick Room, and we also see Porygon 2 with access to the Trick Room, and the Fire, Water, Grass core, in this case, is going to be Incineroar and Rillaboom, of course, but instead of Blastoise, we see Tapu Fini, who can get rid of the terrains of the other Pokemon, for example, from the electric terrain, or you want to get rid of the erosive terrain so that you don't get attacked by erosive lights. It's pretty good to have. Also, the Finish has access to heal pools, or like maybe haste to stop the winner's policy proccing from other opponents. So it's a pretty good Pokemon, and I expect Kenneth to just go full for the Trick Room route and see if he can sweep the opponent after setting up Trick Room.
Yes, that's the battle, I think. Can Kenneth use the Trick Room and try to sweep with his Calyrex Ice? Or instead, will Damo stop this Trick Room and started to knock out all Kenneth Pokemon one by one with Seishan or also Calyrex Shadow Rider? So let's see it in this game one. If we are ready, Konya, Juanma, are we ready? Okay, so let's move on to the first game of this third match between the Dream Team and Apprentice Slash.
Okay, let's see what they bring out to the table for this game one. What are the leads for who? We see that Damo is going to start with Seishan and Blastoise, so I like that he's listening to me. He did bring up Blastoise, and we see Porygon and Palkia, two Trick Room setters right from the bat against the Blastoise Sensation. So
Which
actually,
one? Which one, Konya? Which one is going to set up the trick room?
I don't think it matters because any of them can set it up, and like Blastoise Sensation cannot really stop the trick room here unless Station is carrying play rough, and that would be a possible KO on the Palkia, but you really don't have a way to stop the Porygon too. But I guess you can just Dynamax Blastoise and go for the Cannonade just for the residual damage that would be the next turns. But other than that, I think that KNF got the right lead here.
Yeah, maybe Blastoise fake out. We were able to see Blastoise fake out in some teams. So let's see because it starts the first turn of this game one. Palkia is going to switch out, and Incineroar is entered on the battlefield, intimidating Sation. Let's move to the fake out from Blastoise. I was right. Blastoise is going to fake out Palkia, but nothing happens because the one who is setting trick room is Porygon 2, Konya.
Yeah, I think that Porygon 2 was the right call here to go for the trick room. The fake out didn't go to Porygon 2, actually went for the Palkia, which was a possible. It was possible to see Palkia Dynamax right there, so the fake out maybe wasn't the right choice, but no, he did pretty well. There was no Dynamax there, so good call on that one. But especially good on the Station using the substitute, because now you have to really get rid of the substitute if you want to get it done with the trick room. We will see Station protect here, so Jamo is doing like the 101 anti-trick room idea, which is substitute and protect, because you cannot get hit that way, so it's really good. You'll see every impulse going to Blastoise here, who doesn't choose to Dynamax, so no Cannonade here. Let's see what Blastoise decides to do. Go for Hydro Cannon, right on the Incineroar. Let's see if this is enough for a KO, and it's not a KO because of the -2. I do think that's good damage, but no, not enough there, and now Blastoise has to take a turn of recharge. So you have like a pretty solid idea here to just attack the Station with Booster Pokemon. You obviously Incineroar can break the substitute with a Flare Blade, or possibly the Porygon with Foul Play, trying to do as much damage as possible. Let's see what Kenneth wants to do, but so far I think he's doing his turns really well.
Yes. I think that Damo is waiting for the trick room to end, but what's a Pokemon Porygon 2 with access to ED Impulse? It's a very... I think that I don't think that it's a good call for Pokemon to give the ED Impulse to Porygon, but I think that this is for another discussion. Porygon goes out from the battlefield, letting into the Calyrex Ice, and Incineroar goes to the with the parting shot to Session slot, dropping his attack in one stage and letting Palkia in. With his pressure ability, Blastoise obviously has to recharge, and then we see the Sacred Sword coming to the Palkia. So a very defensive turn that we are gonna try to positioning, bringing out the Calyrex Ice and trying to take advantage of these 3 turns of Trick Room, Konya.
Yeah, it was curious to see like Kenneth not go for the Flower Blade on the Station, because like you really want to break the substitute on the Station, but he went for parting shot, and I think it was a pretty good plan, because now the Station is a -1, so like it's not doing a lot of damage, and you can bring Palkia here and just start doing a lot of damage. Also Calyrex from the field, but as you can see, it is a -1 right now because Damo was saving up that Incineroar. Oh, we see a White Hair coming from the Calyrex Ice. So Damo was saving Incineroar to intimidate the Calyrex Ice, but that's not going to work here. He's back at 0 thanks to the White Hair, and we see Palkia being the Dynamax here, not the Calyrex Ice. I guess you want Calyrex Ice to like use the Station Lance as a multi-hit move, as a spread move, and Palkia can now use its good attacks, its good fast attacks. Yeah, we see the Glacial Lance here, not doing a lot of damage. I'm not even sure if it can break the substitute here of Station because of the resist. Let's see if it's enough. It is enough, okay. It is enough to break the Station substitute, and now Palkia can attack into for max win, onto Incineroar, and it's going to not get the KO actually. It's not a KO, it does drop the station attack, so station is at -2 right now. Not the best for Damo, but it does leave. Incineroar stays on the field one more turn. We do see the Human Flake here, let's see if it's enough for KO in the Kyrex at -2. It's not enough, it's not even close, I would say. So Incineroar does leave, and it has a fake out onto Kyrex if it wants to, but Palkia being Dynamax here, it is a problem for Damo. It doesn't look like he has played a sensation, so it's going to be hard to bring down this Palkia.
Yes, exactly, and the trick room is on, so Session has to go out here, and Blastoise switching in this last turns of trick room. The fake out goes to the Calyrex side, and Palkia goes for the Max Quake in Blastoise slot to make it very considerable damage, and increasing his special defense at +1 for him, and also the Calyrex size.
Yeah, I think that the Max Quake is really good to like boost your special defense, especially knowing that the Blastoise is still there, they can hit you. And of course, if you could hit a station, it would be even better, of course. It's not like you want to KO station, even if it's not doing a lot of damage, to intimidate, you still want to KO it as soon as possible. The trigger does end right now, so I believe that Palkia was slower than Incineroar, so like Incineroar should move first here, I think. I'm not extremely sure. Blastoise definitely has the advantage of the speed right here. So I believe that Kenneth, okay, it's going to be a Dynamax, okay, I wasn't expecting this, but Blastoise is going to finally use its Dynamax, probably going to look for the Gmax Cannonade and try to do as much damage as possible, and try to maybe get a KO on the Calyrex. If the Blastoise is maybe an offensive variant, let's see how much damage it does. We did see Hydro Cannon, which is a very offensive move to have. Palkia goes for the Max Quake, so this is going to put the Kenneth side at +2 to special defense. So Palkia was faster than Incineroar, I was wrong there. That is really good actually. Getting the +2 special defense is going to be that Blastoise. It will not get a kill on station, most likely. Maybe a crit could save it, honestly, but I'm unsure of it. We do see here the Gmax Cannonade finally setting up this extremely painful residual damage. Is that the kill? Was it a
critical? Yes!
It was a crit! Oh!
Kenneth got a lucky this turn, and Calyrex was not able to set up the trick room. 3 trick room users with 3 trick rooms in a 4th Pokemon team, Konya. This is a very strange call. Maybe when you have, or sometimes when you have Porygon with trick room and Palkia with trick room, you don't use trick room on Calyrex size, but Kenneth has 3 trick room users knowing trick room in his team. Very to take note of this. And then we have Palkia finishing his Dynamax turns and going back to normal. First, Incineroar is going to enter to the battlefield and intimidate Sasha. This is very important as well. So we have a Sasha at 0 and a Blastoise Gigamax with 2 turns left. Konya.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was pretty tempting to like bring Porygon to here and like make sure you set up the trick room, but Incineroar coming in is actually really smart, because you got a fake sensation besides Intimidate that it was also really good, and Palkia, now that it's tiny again, he can go for trick room, and we know that Blastoise cannot really do a lot of damage to Palkia, so I feel like a trick room is pretty much guaranteed here. Besides, Palkia is not getting damaged by the Cannonade residual damage because it's a water type. So even if Incineroar should go down here, and yeah, there it does, Palkia is still in a really good position. He does have a ground type move and Earth Power to like hit the station. Blastoise is not really doing a lot of damage to it, so Palkia, I feel like it should be able to end this endgame like really well actually.
Exactly, because Porygon can help also. It's the common Porygon that has access that learn full play and Eerie Impulse, that are two moves that give you a lot of support. It can hit Sasha with a lot of damage, and it can cover you from special attackers such like Blastoise. So, as you said, this is a very good position for Palkia, but three Pokemons left in Damo side, so I think that we have to see if Palkia is able to knock out all the three Pokemons that Damo has.
Yeah, we got to see that. I feel like can. Palkia definitely has some damage here to bring down Damo's team. Of course, it's still Blastoise has his Dynamax, so you can't really bring down Blastoise that easily right now. I don't think like Porygon puts a lot of damage into the team of Damo, so you're kind of relying on Palkia alone here. We do see that Station does reach out, and Rillaboom comes in. Oh, Rillaboom is a good Pokemon to have here. It has something to fake out, and the Grassy Light can really put a dent on Palkia, depending on if Rillaboom is offensive or maybe defensive. We have to see the damage that it brings. We do see Porygon go for foul play onto the Station slot, so it's going to hit Rillaboom for a lot of damage. Okay, that's a crit.
Another critical hit.
Yes, that's a very good trade for him. Using Blastoise for haste on the Palkia. I know, I feel like Blastoise knows that it's not a good damage, but it does bring in the hail, so you can try to chip down Palkia with the hail now. As if you do the Earth Power, they was going to rotation, but now that Rillaboom is on the field, he's going to take it like a champ. And now, even in Trick Room, Rillaboom is going to go first to the Grassy Glide. So Palkia has to tank down these attacks, and even if he heals from the grassy terrain, he does lose the same damage from the hail. So Palkia is going to have to tank a lot of attacks here. He has to get rid of his Rillaboom right away. And I'm not sure if Palkia even has Protect yet to like protect himself from the Grassy Glide. So looks like Damo is still in the match. He still has resources here to be able to close it out.
Yes, exactly. And another thing to take into account here is that Porygon going to receive a lot of damage from the Chimax Cannonade. As you told before, the Hailstorm nullifies the healing from the terrain. So Porygon Kenneth has to be very careful with Porygon and his HP in order to Sasha enter and KO it. But first of all, we see the Protect into the Rillaboom and the Blizzard in the Blastoise that frozen. Oh my god! So a lot bad luck for Kenneth. Then the Spatial Rent is going to hit Blastoise and knock out it. This is very important. Maybe it will be some turn that will decide the game one. But let's see, Konya, because we continue under Trick Room, and Session has to protect in order to stall the Trick Room as much as it can, in order to got the speed back and KO Palkia first, I think, and then Porygon 2.
Yeah, I do believe that there's only one more Trick Room turn left. So obviously Session is going to protect here, and Rillaboom probably going to attack the Palkia. It would be like a good play if Porygon wasn't frozen to like go for double Trick Room, so like you set it up down and set it back up in the turns that Station is going to protect. That could be a really good play, but of course Porygon is frozen now. You can't really do that. You have to take a big risk if you want to try to do that. Of course, you just want to like get rid of the Rillaboom 2, and Station is. We don't know if Station has Play Rough, but without Play Rough, like you have to rely on Sacred Sword or Glove Combat to hit the Palkia. I'm not sure if that's enough to KO it. So Palkia should have like a free turn here, or the next turn after the Protect. Yeah, we do see the Session protecting here, so it's still not over. It's looking hard though, and there we see the Grassy Glider of Rillaboom to the Palkia. Leaves some free HP, but that means that the Hail is going to take out the Palkia next turn. We do see the Protect on the Station, so the FO is not going to get any damage off. And we will see that Hail here is hitting first. So yeah, Palkia is going to go down. and I believe that Damo is going to win now this game one. Even if Porygon falls out and like goes for recover and stuff, I don't feel like he has the resources to bring down the two Pokemon in front of him.
Exactly. It's very difficult because you will receive probably a Sacred Sword and a Grassy Glide that you see. It hits with a lot of damage in Palkia that it hits neutral. It did a lot of... Uh, okay, let's see Porygon continue. Frost and then the good hammer will be enough to knock out Porygon 2. Rillaboom received the recoil damage, but it's done knockouted. So first game it goes for Damo. Wow, it was a very difficult game because we go through different stages. Where first of all we thought that Kenneth was in a very good position, and then the Frozen and Damo switches, the Blastoise Dynamaxing. It's, I have a lot of different emotions during this game, but I think that the hacks, the crit, for example, on the Calyrex, it matters. Do you agree, Konya?
I was waiting to say that. I believe that the crit on Kyros, like, it brought down everything that Kenneth did right on the first dance. Like, he set up the trigger reliably. It ended up, the trigger ended, but then it was Calyrex putting it back up, but then you got the crit, and the Blastoise, like, could get it going. The freeze on Porygon is like, okay, it's unfortunate, but it didn't really matter for the end game. I feel like the crit was really what mattered there, ignoring the special defense boost that Palkia put up. So yeah, a bit of unlucky. I don't think that Kenneth like played better than Damo. It's just that his team was brought better. Like he put his team better. Like his trigger was really running over Damo, who was playing well because we started on the protect. Like they were really good at stopping down the trigger, but in the end, like he didn't have enough to stop it twice or even 3 times if it needed. So, and it was unfortunate, but well, it's just game one. We have to see that against, and if he doesn't get credit, he should win, right?
Yes. I think that the possible of setting up Trick Room with 3 different Pokemon in a game gives him an advantage. For example, he used to play Palkia as the damage dealer, and Calyrex did not Dynamax, and he used it to set up the trick room, and these different possibilities under his team. I think that he has the team and the key in order to win all the game 2 and game 3, but Damo is a very good player and he can readapt, and now he knows, he has information about Kenneth's team, so it will be a difficult game 2.
The evolution is important, and I think that the Rillaboom is also really good for the matchup. So I feel like Damos obviously can. I mean, he won obviously, but he can really manage for game 2 with the Pokemon that he brought. He just has to make sure that that Kenneth team doesn't like get the momentum going, and then they become an unstoppable force when it frequently up and the Kyrex and the Palkia are in place. So yeah, we have to see if game 2 that there's different adaptations from both teams.
Maybe let's see if he does. So Juanma, can you show us game 2? Perfect. So let's move on to game 2 between Damo and Kenneth. Let's see if Damo managed to win this game 2 and get the points for Apprentice Aegislav, or instead Kenneth will be the winner of this game 2 and forced to play a game 3 in order to win this match. Okay, first of all, we have Damo playing with Blastoise and Session again, and Kenneth do the same, playing with Porygon 2 and Palkia.
Yeah, so there's no adaptations. There's no adaptations here for Game 2. They both live with the same Pokemon. I mean, they can adapt to the Pokemon in the back. You don't know if they brought also the same four. But for the lead, it looks like exactly the same. As Locke said before, like Blastoise has access to Fake Out, so he can stop one of the Trick Rumors if possible, and you don't know if Station has a way to KO Porygon or KO the Palkia, or in Player Up probably is a KO. Close combat on Porygon, probably not, I want to say. So, Porygon is like the safe bet for the Trick Room, but also means that the Porygon should get Fake Outed, so like he can move. So, there's a couple of mind games here, we see what will happen. For now, we see Dynamax going off, and that's going to be Palkia. So, once again, Kenneth knows that Palkia is the best shot for the Dynamax slot. It does bring a lot of damage to the table. He has needed Trick Room, he has Porygon that can set it for him. So, it's going to be a Fake Out on the Palkia, so good Dynamax there. And Sacred Sword also on the Palkia, so no player up here from Station. Just a little damage on Palkia, who retaliates with that Max Whirlwind. Not getting the KO Blastoise, but it does drop the attack, and now Sashan loses his Intrepid Sword boost, and now it's only at 0 attack, while Porygon is going to set up the Trick Room. So, once again, Kenneth with a great start.
Yes, exactly. I think that Damo thought that Kenneth maybe repeats the turn, but Kenneth knows what Damo is going to do, and he, instead of switching for Incineroar and taking advantage of the substitute, he keeps the Palkia and Dynamaxes it in order to make a lot of damage. So Sashan needs to go with the Protect in order to not receive damage, but Porygon will go to the full play in Blastoise slot. The Blizzard, they are not freezing any Pokemon, and then the Max Quake is going to knock out the Blastoise. First turn of Trick Room is showing a good for Kenneth. So Blastoise is out. Sashan is at 0 of attack.
Yeah, exactly. You could see that. Okay, so Station protected that turn, and Kenneth targeted both with both Pokemon on the Blastoise. So you could think, oh, that was a good read on the Kenneth on the protect. But it wasn't really a read. It was just like, you know that Station is his attack is on 0, so it's kind of lowered, and you know that you don't really want your Station to like take a max fake on Palkia. So I think it was a safe bet to like just double target the Blastoise and get a KO. So that was pretty good. It was coverage more than a full read, I would say. We do see now that Incineroar comes in to bring a possible Fake Out or bring a parting shot on the Palkia. We know that Palkia is faster out of Trick Room, so Incineroar should move first here. He can go for parting shot and leave the Palkia at -1, so he can do a lot of damage. Of course, that dropping the attack on the Dynamax though is a good thing to have. We see that Damo is going to save up this Station, and it does come out for Rillaboom. That's a grassy search that comes out, so a little bit of healing for everyone here should help Damo to stall the Trick Room if possible. He needs the Trick Room to go away if he wants to like get on with the game 2. We do see Foul Play on Incineroar doing absolutely nothing, and parting shot here, as I was saying, on the Palkia is going to leave at -1 attack, -1 special attack. So now Palkia shouldn't be doing too much damage as Incineroar switches out, and Station is going to come back into the battle.
Yes, I have a lot of questions here. First of all, which will be the Dynamax for Damo, having Incineroar and Rillaboom only have the possibility to Dynamax? But first, let's see that the Max Whirlwind hits Sashan doing no damage as he is immune. So good turn for Damo. That I thought that Damo was about to lose this game, but shows us a very good turn. Now if Rillaboom decides to Dynamax, with the grassy terrain and doing a lot of damage, maybe we are in front of a comeback.
Yeah, we didn't say that Rillaboom is a really good Pokemon here. Of course, Incineroar comes back in, so intimidate on the Rillaboom, intimidate the station, so Rillaboom finally cannot do a lot of damage as he wanted to. Of course, you also have to make sure that, okay, you do see the Dynamax here, it's going to be a Rillaboom, so probably a Gigantamax Rillaboom to like be able to do more damage than usual thanks to the Gigantamax boost. The Drum Solo, which does like 180 base power, that's a really powerful attack. But Damo has to look out for the Trigger, right? He has to like bring down the Trigger Rumor, so like try to KO them or try to keep it low health so they can't set up Trigger again. That was one of the problems on game 1. The possibility of setting up Trigger multiple times. You see here that Porygon gets KO'd, so there's no Trigger there, even if Incineroar entered to intimidate both Rillaboom and Session, Porygon still was knocked out, so that was really good for Damo.
Yes, Damo is trying, as you said, to play outside of Trick Room, but I think that this is very difficult, but maybe he is able to do it. Porygon is now knockout and it's a 3-on-3, but let's see, because Rillaboom is at -1, Station is +0, so I don't know what will happen. Incineroar has a very good, it's in a very good position here, so he can go for parting shot or Sharp Flare Blitz. So let's see what happens, because I think that the big problem for Damo is not having Rage play rough.
Yeah, indeed. I don't feel like he can go. Well, actually, no. The Zero doesn't go for Fake Out. He has to switch out and bring out Palkia here to the field, and we'll see what Calyrex does right here to attack. Actually, Damo will go to the station. I guess that Damo did think that Incineroar was going to fail at the station and decided to save it for later. So Incineroar comes back in. Maybe Kenneth actually read this and brought Palkia to have it in front of Incineroar. Could be a good call here to consider. We do see the White Serve activating on Calyrex. We saw that on game 1, so that's pretty good. See the Glacial Lance that's going to do some good damage to Rillaboom. Of course, not enough for the KO. And Gmax Drum Solo comes out again. 2 damage to the Calyrex. That's a lot of damage, even if it was intimidated. We do see some grassy terrain healing for all the Pokemon here, and I believe the Trick Room should be over right now.
Yes, I think so. Yes, that's correct. And now, without Trick Room, we have a Palkia that is the one that outspeeds every Pokemon in the battlefield, so it can attack first. Rillaboom that is going to knock out from Calyrex Glacial Lance, but also we have Incineroar in the Damo sides that can go for a Fake Out. So it's a very difficult position. I don't know which one is in a better position, but let's see, Konya.
Well, we will see that Calyrex is going to switch out. Of course, again, the threat of Fake Out from Incineroar is going to make another Incineroar come in. You always have to be worried of all of these Fake Outers coming and going. Of course, intimidating the Rillaboom is also really good because you don't want him to do a lot of damage. You need Palkia away for Hydro Bounce here, so this is going to surely KO the Incineroar right there. Yeah, it is a KO. So Incineroar on Damo side does go down. No Trick-Room down, like there's no Trick-Room going up for a second time on the game just yet. And Drum Solo is going to come out and hit on Incineroar. That's a crit.
Yes, yes.
That has to be a crit. Yeah.
Another crit that complicates Kennen. I think that the luck is not in his side, but despite of that, he was trying to position in a better way, and I think that he did it. He managed it to be in a very good position. Instead of not having the Trick Room, he has 3 Pokemon. Damo has only 2, and Rillaboom is -2, as we can see it. One turn of grassy terrain, so I think that if he plays correctly, Kenneth can win this game too.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna see that finally a fatal comes out. Somebody is going to target the station, so station is going to a critical hit, not really important right there. And you see now that Woolhammer coming out and hits the Palkia, but no crit this time. Actually, a crit would have been really bad. But there's no trick there, and Trick Room comes out from Palkia, finally setting up that second Trick Room that Kenneth really wanted to get, but wasn't able to up until now. And now Kenneth really should be able to close out this game too. He has the Trick Room, he has the Palkia. Grass Terrain is going to run out, so not even the threat of Grassy Glide is going to stop the Palkia from attacking right now. Rillaboom did its best. Like, Damo's Rillaboom is really put this matchup, and it did a lot of damage with all its Maximus. But it wasn't enough for Damo to like stop the Trick Room, and I think that this game too is going to go for Kenneth's side, as we see the Flare Blitz coming out from Incineroar into Rillaboom. That's a KO, and we're going to see probably an Earth Power onto station next to try to close out this game too, as Incineroar survives the recall with no effort. You see Earth Power for Palkia hitting the station. It's not a KO actually, so one more turn for station to live. You see now a Behemoth Blade coming out. This is going to probably hit on Palkia, trying to get the KO. No, it's actually going for Incineroar, so it is a KO, so Incineroar goes down. Palkia should be able to close out now. Another crit. Well, great city here. And now Kyrex is going to join the field once again, and I believe like if Fashion can get like 3 protects in a row, maybe he has a chance, but this is probably a game just for Kenneth to take.
Yes, exactly, Konya. I think that this game is over. He has to. I think that Demo needs a triple protect. So if I was him, I think I will try it. Let's see if Damo decides to forfeit, or instead of this, he is going to try for the triple protect in order to start all the Trick Room turns. Then he has to KO Palkia, and not being KO by the Calyrex. Calyrex is not trying to set the Trick Room now. It's very difficult, Konya.
Yeah, it's really difficult at this point. I feel like Damo just running the club. Like just it's not. It's like a tech of sorts. Like if you know you're lost, but like you want to like rethink your position and everything, you just like let the clock run. You don't touch your switch. You just leave it there. It's going to pick a move for you eventually, and you take that extra time, that 45 seconds, 60 seconds. Like breathe in, like concentrate. Okay, I have to do this next, or I played this wrong, or this one wrong. I have to think. Then like take some extra time. You know you're lost, but you can get that extra time from the turn to like think it about a bit more. There's a lot of players that do this, so I think it's fine. Like, it's not like you're stalling for time because you know you're lost already.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes you need to relax and to manage to have this time. Sometimes to plan something, or the other time just to say, okay, here I am. Let's try to breathe and to go through the game 3 in the best way possible. Not trying to rush, or trying to insta-log some Pokemon. You have all the time in the world to think about what will you bring to the next game. I think that this is a good move for Damo. So let's see if it works. Because you have to. I think that the turns 1, just in game 1 and game 2 was critical. It sets what we will see, what will happen. For example, during the turn 1 in the game 2, Kenneth gained a lot of momentum, and he used it in order to to move the game in his favor. I think that the next turn one will be critical in this way.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't see any lead adaptations from game 1 to game 2. Maybe on game 3 we'll see them. We have to see. So let's go. Let's see what the last game has to offer.
Perfect. So Juanma, let's move to game 3 and find out which one of the two teams is going to get this point. If Kenneth Gamboa wins this match, the Dream Team will win the series and obviously the Ultra Cup. But if instead Damo wins this game 3 and the match, we will have to wait for the last match in order to know who is the winner of the Ultra Cup from the VCL. Okay, and you want a station, Konya? Here you have. First of all, sessions continue in the battlefield, but this time Blastoise is going to the back, and the first Pokemon that we see is Calyrex Shadow Rider. But Kenneth, on the other side, decided to use the same Pokemon, at least the first two.
Yeah, exactly. I do like this adaptation of bringing just Calyrex Shadow, but Damo has known at this point that like game 1 he like kind of got paid out by the crit, but he couldn't really play in Trick Room. Game 2 he really couldn't play in Trick Room and lost the game. Now you just bring all out. You just bring all to the table, and if you don't really have the moves to stop the Trick Room, like some taunt, something like that can stop Porygon, so Palkia, just bring all your offense out and just get the KOs before you can get KO back and run on from it. We do see that Palkia is going to once again Dynamax turn 1, so Kenneth is sticking to his plan, the not bad plan by any means. You see Astral Barrage here, trying to hit the Palkia. Of course that's not affect Porygon, but the important thing is to hit the Palkia, and Sasha is going to go for Substitute here. So once again doing a good use of Substitute in front of Porygon's Trick Room, and we will see Palkia go for Max Win-Win. He's going to drop the attack of Station. Not very good news for Damo, so it goes back to 0, but Calyrex does survive this turn, so at least like he gets to live one more turn. It's a KO over the Palkia, and Porygon now sets up the Trick Room.
Yes. I said in the team preview that the turn 1 is so important, and I think that Kenneth did it very well during this turn 1. Damo tries to counter the Kenneth lead, but I think that this is difficult because Calyrex needs to switch out, but Kenneth can catch up this switch. Let's see. He can go for Max Hazel if he wants, but let's see because the turns start. Obviously, Calyrex Shadow Rider go to the back, and Incineroar enters to the battlefield, receiving a full play from Porygon and a Max Quake from Palkia. No, goes for the station, breaking out this substitute, and then we have to see what move is going to do this session.
Yeah, we do know that it doesn't have play rough, so let's see what he decides to attack. Just go for substitute again. That's a pretty good move actually. Damo knows that he has to stall out the Trick Room, and he could have just gone for Protect, of course, but another substitute means that he has to force the Palkia to once again for the Max Quake and like try to waste as many turns of Dynamax as possible. So I think Damo is in the right here. He just doesn't have the very best tools to put in front of Palkia, but he's doing his best with his gameplay. You see another foul play going into Incineroar, and Parting Shot. That's a really good Parting Shot to hit on the Palkia. Going to be left at -1 special attack. It's important special for Palkia. And Incineroar comes out of the field. Let's see if he decides to bring in Calyrex again. After all, Calyrex is pretty dented. Yeah, we do see Calyrex here, so maybe as a sacrifice kind of.
Yeah.
You know that Calyrex doesn't really have a lot more to offer right here. And let's see that Palkia is going for once again Max Whirlwind is going to leave this station at -1 and Tyler is going to get KO. I feel like Kenneth's game plan right now is like really simple but really effective because
Yes, yes, exactly. Sorry, going about. Yes, he's using in the best way possible his Trick Room's turn. You see here the damage that Asian did to this Porygon is very low. Polygons can take it very comfortable. And then, as you said, he has to sacrifice his Calyrex Shadow Rider because Rillaboom, his Dynamax, we saw it in during last game. Porygon, Porygon, sorry, and Rillaboom needs to take no damage, but I think that he's very uncomfortable Dynamaxing here or Gigantamaxing because Incineroar can enter to the battlefield and did the same turns as he did during the last game. So I think that it's the difficult call for Damo. So let's wait what he's going to do. But I think that Kenneth is more comfortable with this game.
yeah, I mean we don't see Blastoise coming out here anymore, and Blastoise was like a really good anti-Incineroar tech on this game, because game one the Incineroar was KO by the Blastoise, but we don't see the Blastoise anymore here. Actually, that's a good play from Jamo. Like I feel like he read the logs here because he knows that Incineroar is going to come in here to intimidate the Rillaboom. Yeah, we do see Palkia switched out, so Incineroar is going to come back in. He knows that Rillaboom is a really key Pokemon here in this matchup. You don't want to intimidate it, and of course the Station doesn't get intimidated because of the substitute. So I feel like that's a really good play. There wasn't a foul play there. So Damo is using Incineroar really well. I mean, it's because Kenneth's plan is like, again, really simple. Like he's doing things that like are really predictable, but they work really well because he's in such a good position that he doesn't have to predict or anything. He just has to play out his team, his game plan like he has, like he always does. Because you have a Trick Room team and you have to always predict and protect or like take advantage of your Trick Room turns, and he's doing that. He doesn't need to predict to take advantage of the Trick Room turns. The Dynamax was well used. All the Incineroar switches have been really good. All the fake outs and all that stuff. So again, doing really good. Damo is struggling from behind, but he's making really good plays to stay on the field.
Yes, exactly. I think that can discover everything. For example, this full play in the Incineroar is a very good play in order to prevent from the Rillaboom switching. As we see Palkia enter into the battlefield, Incineroar is going to the fake out to the Inci slot. Then the full play as I told before, and then see what Sashan is going to do. Another fake out, so that is a critical hit again, Konya. A lot of critical hits during these games. I think that it's very important, this critical hit, because Trick Room is now over. Porygon is in a very bad position, but as we said before, not only Porygon but also Palkia has Trick Room and can set it again.
Yeah, that is true, and neither Incineroar nor Station can really KO Palkia here, so it's a pretty free Trick Room if Palkia decides to go for it. Porygon will be KO by a Secret Sword Station. Even at -1, Station can still KO the Porygon. Of course, the first hit was a crit, but you don't even need a crit right now to KO the Porygon, so it should be a pretty easy KO if Damo wants to go for it. But again, Palkia is doing really well here. Damo has to find a way to kill the Incineroar on Kenneth's side so that he can really get his Rillaboom on the field and start firing off all those G-Max drum solos that worked so well on the other game. Let's see. Rillaboom does come back in, okay. So he knows that Rillaboom has to do as much damage as possible. We do see the Secret Sword here. Porygon is going to come down. And let's see if Palkia decides to go for the Trick Room and set it up once again to start again. No, he goes for Hydro Pump here. No Trick Room, Hydro Pump on the ancient slot that now is occupied by Rillaboom, so it was kind of good damage for being resisted, so not bad, but um, interesting to not see Trigon being set up. Like, we know that Kenneth wants Trigon all the time in this match, so I don't know. He probably has something else on mind.
Yes, it was a hard read, and luckily it didn't cause the Incineroar. It hit Rillaboom, but as you said, making a lot of damage for being a resistant move, and taking account that Dynamaxing Rillaboom will mean that you will lost all these HP, 25 I think, or 30% left to be doubled. So this is very important, but I think that Kenneth is trying to bite the Calyrex switching, and he retreats, taking out his Incineroar, and now, yes, it's time for Dynamax, Konya. Rillaboom is going to get Gigantamax, trying to get the damage that needs in order to get some KOs. Let's see if he do it. First, Incineroar is going to go for a Sacred Sword in Palkia slot, making it in 60% of damage. Palkia is going to break now the substitute from Seishan. At last, Seishan substitute is off. Then Rillaboom is going to hit with the drum solo. It's a good read from Damo, knocking out Palkia, and this is good news for Damo because there are only one more Trick Room user, the Calyrex Ice, and besides of that, no Trick Room during these last turns of this game. And as you say, Konya, not having Trick Room is not the scenario where Kenneth needs to play.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he really needed Trick Room to go up right there. I mean, I don't think it was a bad idea to break the substitute on Station, because like you need to hit him someday. Like he had a substitute up for like 5 turns already, 5-6 turns, so you have to take it someday. But Kenneth not playing with the trigger on his side is going to really hurt him. Of course, he doesn't have any switches anymore. Even if Rillaboom and Station are both at -1, you still have to tank the attack with Calyrex if you want to set up the trigger. So it's going to be kind of hard. Okay, we do see Damo is going to switch out the Station. Incineroar is going to come in. So I believe that Damo knows that it's possible that Calyrex lives, is double down, so you don't want to risk not KO instead of the Trick Room, so you do want to bring Incineroar in, but the white card is going to ignore the Intimidate, so a bit of a curious play there, because double down I feel like it should be better way to stop the Trick Room. We see Frog Chop here, so no possible parking shot now from the other Incineroar, and Trick Room does come out. It looked like Damo was in a good position right there, but now Trick Room is up, so it is not decided yet, but you have to kill the Incineroar on Damo's side. Like, if Calyrex cannot kill the Incineroar, then it will come down to a further risk that maybe get the KO, and Damo still has Station in the back, so it's a little bit complicated, this late game.
Yes, exactly. I think that Kenneth did a very good read. The Damo switching out the session, because Inci has access to the fake out, and the Trick Room will happen in a way or another, and he attacks with the throw chop, preventing Inci to came out and not doing the parting shot. He can parting shot now, so the Flare Blitz is going out to the Rillaboom, taking some kind of damage, not a lot of damage, but it's useful. And the Flare Blitz from the Incineroar, that's enough to KO Calyrex. And luckily, the Calyrex from Damo resists the high horsepower, and this is what complicated Kenneth's game plan, and I think that this is a very difficult position for Kenneth that is going to receive this Chaigamax reliable attack, lowering this HP to the 30% approx, and see that this is bad news for Kenneth that yes, he decided to forfeit, and that's the game 3. Damo in some way managed to win this game 3 and the match. Wow, what an interesting, a very good game, Konya.
Yeah, I feel like both of us expected like Kenneth to win or not really win the game too, but he was in a better position. You could see it with the trick models, but it seemed like he just escaped that he lost the momentum like some couple key turns that he couldn't like keep the momentum up. Dama was making some good plays and some good defensive call outs and everything, and in the end he does get the win. So I believe that puts this set 2 versus 2 right now with one final match to decide everything.
Yes, exactly. I think that Kennen played very well. I think that yeah, as I saw the match, I can identify this very good player as Kenneth is, but unfortunately, half because of the hacks and the other half because Damo played also very well. He couldn't win this match, and because of that, as you said, it's 2-on-2. So the next is the final match of the day and the final match of this Ultra Cup finals. So Juanma, bring it up. We need to see what teams are going to clash in these finals. From one side, we see Sasham plus Kyogre. Wow, the first of this duo during the stream, and in the other side, I think that a very similar team from the one that Kenneth just played with Calyrex, Ice, and Palkia, Konya.
Yeah, it's basically Swordfish against Calyrex Ice plus Palkia. That we just saw Kenneth use it, and I believe it's the same except for Amoonguss, because Kenneth had I think Kenneth had a Rillaboom. I think instead of Amoonguss. That's the only
Rillaboom.
Yeah, that was the only difference. It's another grass type, but Amoonguss is more fitted for playing in Trick Room. And for Sven's side, we do see like the established rain team that we see in a lot of matches and stuff. It's Station and Kyogre as both are restricted, with Rillaboom and Zapdos trying to take advantage of the rain, while Incineroar and Greenstar support the Station and sometimes the Kyogre too, before the support moves that we know and see. I believe that we saw Sven using the same team before. I believe that the Zapdos maybe have safety ovals and like a fire move for some fire, some grass types. So yeah, I'm going to say that I feel like Sven is going to really know what his team does. So he should be making some really solid plays. But Isra has, I feel like, a little bit of advantage here because you know that Palkia goes up really well against Kyogre. Palkia in general just does really well with your power, with a max wing to drop Station's attack. You also can put it against Zapdos, so it's not a bad matchup at all. So I believe that Isra has a little bit of an edge here with his team. Full Trick Room, I don't think I feel like Sven is not really prepared to counter Trick Room, but he should be like using screens and substitute Station to disrupt a little bit of damage, and then once the Trick Room is off, he can try to get his own damage going. So I feel like that's how this match is going to go.
Yes, exactly. I think that Isra will miss Rillaboom from for this matchup in particular because Rillaboom can KO Kyogre very easy, but Amoonguss really gives a lot of value to Isra teams. Among Us can redirect with Rage Powder or Sleep the Zapdos if it's not safely Googles. And also if you bring with Pollen Puff, it can also heal your allies, so it's very good add to this team. I think that Spore is not so good because of Tapu Fini, but if you don't bring Tapu Fini to the field, you can also spam Spore as well. So, Konya, are you ready for the final match?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, so Juanma, when you want, you have the power to show us the last game, the last match, the last point from this Ultra Cup finals from the VCL. Let's see if Apprentice Ice Slash that came from the 7th slot of the positions can beat the 4th position in the Dream Team. Okay, and first we see Spence opening with Zapdos and Gripsnar, and Isra open with Thunderous and Palkia. Are we going to see the Trigger, or are we going to see the Max Airstream Thunderous?
And I don't think we saw Thunderous on team previews. I think something was scaring me right there. But it's fine. So we usually see Thunderous and Palkia here. As Locke said, you could just go for Airstream and like start attacking with Palkia. Dynamax right away. I feel like this is going to be Palkia Dynamaxing, so no Dynamax from Thunderous, meaning that it's probably a support Thunderous. We're going to see how it goes. There we see Palkia Dynamaxing. I'm not sure if Ben wants to Dynamax right away, something of its own. Let's see if maybe Zapdos wants to get himself big too. No, it's just Thunderous going for Taunt on the Zapdos actually, not on the Greenstar. Maybe to prevent an air impulse going off, as we see Greenstar going for light green. He wants to disrupt the damage coming from Palkia, and yeah, we do see there that Palkia got that Zapdos got taunted, so they couldn't move right away, and the Max Geyser is going to hit the Greenstar, doing some very good damage and setting up the rain, which will make the Max Geyser even stronger next time, as Palkia also reveals the life form.
Exactly. Good first turn for Isra that shut down the Zapdos with his taunt, making Palkia a good threat for Sven. Also, the live screen is up, but Palkia is very comfortable. They decide, let's see, Thunderous go for the evil impulse, trying to shut down Zapdos once for all. I think that Zapdos now is very useless because of this. The Thunderbolt doing the very good damage despite of being at -2. Then the Max Geyser that goes for Greenstar with a critical hit that doesn't matter, knocking it out, Konya.
Yeah, this is a really good start for Isra. Thunderous like completely shut down the Zapdos with the taunt and the Eerie Impulse. Like, it's really letting Palkia do its thing, like not having to worry about anything, just go and hit the opponent. We do see, I feel like Greenstar went for like Spirit Break there, like he didn't even think of like Reflect or maybe Thunder Wave. Like he had options to use on his prankster Pokemon, but no, he just wanted to attack. It wasn't enough for him to survive those, so Palkia gets rid of the Greenstar without much going except for the light screen, so really good on his side. We do see Station coming out now, and we do know that Palkia usually carries a ground type move, so Station has to be worried here. Of course, also Thunderous could go for like Thunder Wave or Scary Face and like slow Station down so that you can hit it before it can hit you. Yeah, we do see there that Thunderous go for Scary Face on the Station slot. So Palkia should be the fastest on the field right now. No, actually Zapdos. Zapdos moves first, goes for the Thunderbolt. Again, not a lot of damage thanks to the -2 from the Eerie Impulse. And Max Quake coming from the Palkia is going to hit on the Station. And Station does manage to survive thanks to the light screen. Because even Palkia with the light for should get the KO guaranteed, but the light screen from Greenstar Makes it so he can survive. A special defense boost too, which is not bad to have. And Station control play rough, but on Thunderous, not on Palkia. Interesting.
Yes, yes, I think that what Sven tries to do is knocking out this Thunderous that was very like a headache to Sven because his Santos is useless. His Sasha now is at -2 of speed, being outspeed by not only Station but also Palkia, and this is not good news for Sven that needs to switch out both Pokemon but only has one in the back.
Yeah, his Zapdos is basically dead weight right now, so like it's not doing a lot of damage. And Seishan doesn't want to get KO right away. Actually, we do see Ishra Seishan moving first here. We don't know if it's a speed thing or not, but he does it first. And that's going to KO Ben's Seishan, so that's immediately a 4 versus 2 in Ishra's favor. Really, really good for now. This is Zapdos going for Thunderbolt once again. It's still taunted, so he got on for an Eerie Impulse or maybe a Tailwind will help. We see Herba miss, so a little bit of breathing room for Sven that he can try to get back on this game one, but it's looking really difficult. You see Kyogre coming back, and as we said in preview, Kyogre is not going to do a lot of damage to Palkia, so let's see if maybe he can surprise us with a Thunder or something like Thunder crits and Paralyze, or maybe Zapdos getting some crits. Like it's really hard for Sven to come back right now.
Yes, yes, exactly. Kyogre can Dynamax now and trying to knock off the session, but Zapdos is almost useless. He can go for the Eerie Impulse in Palkia slot, trying to minimize the damage that Palkia can do to the Kyogre, but yeah, Sven tried to Dynamax the Zapdos. Despite being at -2, maybe a critical hit can help it. What do you think about this, Konya?
Yeah, a crit is pretty much what he needs to get. We do see player here. Static could be a factor, but no static here. We do see Airstream on Palkia, and it's not going to crit. He really needed that crit, but it didn't happen. Airstream is good though, because now Kyogre should be the fastest on the field alongside Zapdos, so pretty good start, but Hydro Ball is going to connect, and Zapdos gets to live actually. Survives on like what seems to be 1 HP as the rain goes out. Oh, that's bad news for Kyogre though, that he really needed that rain to do as much damage as possible. Zapdos anyways can try. I believe Zapdos usually carries a fire type moves in his kind of team, so maybe a fire type move can KO the Station, and with that you can try to get some breathing room for later. It's looking really hard though. The light screen did run out, so this is information for Ifra though, because you know now that Greenstar is not likely, so it might just be carrying like a Babiri Berry or something switcheroo, so you know, information for later, that's always good to have. Station is going to protect here as Zapdos goes for Max Lightning onto the Palkia. It's still not getting crits with Zapdos, so not a lot of damage here, and Kyogre should be moving next. Could go for Thunder, actually goes for Thunder Spout, which is resistive for Palkia, so not a lot of damage. I imagine Thunder could have been used in the terrain. That was actually good damage.
Yeah,
yeah, that was a
critical hit. Yes. I think that the rain unluckily disappears. Oh, another critical. The rain goes out one turn before Kyogre attacks, and this is very important. Despite of that, Palkia is knocked out because of the recoil damage of the Life Orb, but the last Pokemon from Infra side is Rillaboom, and this is out, Conan.
Yeah, this is definitely game one for Israel. He had Rillaboom in the back waiting. There's not much he can do. There was a lot of information revealed though in this game. We know that Thunderous is moral support. We know that Satan is going pretty rough against Palkia. So those are all really good things to know for the future. Let's see if this Rasigrai is enough. It's not enough actually. So Kyogre knows that it's not one shot by aggressive light. That's also a good thing to know, even for a Kyogre that is life force, so like probably not exactly a bulky variant of Kyogre, it still manages to survive the aggressive light. So again, good information to have for later, but we have to say that Israel won this game very, very well. His Thunderous was a menace to the Zapdos in front of him, even the Grizzle couldn't do much. So really, really good for Israel. He had the upper advantage from the start and kept it all the way.
Yes, yes, yes. I think that Thunder's surprise, surprise Sven. I think that he didn't know that Thunder's was going to go for the taunt in Zapdos slot, and Zapdos. I think that it's being disabled just from turn one. It was just a dead weight to just Ben, and then have those Dynamax also, but it didn't get the critical hit that it needs, and also Kyogre was not able to overspeed the session at +1, and this is another important information there. So I think that Ben needs to note all this information and try to do his best for the next game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, let's see. Let's see game two. He has the adaptations to overcome his wrath.
Yes.
Team, which was like it was a really good team, really good game plan, really good executed. That's a lot of work to do, but let's see game two surprises.
Okay, so Juanma, let's show us game two, and let's try to know if this is the last game of the series, or instead we are going to have a game 3 during this last match of the Ultra Cup finals. We are going to say goodbye to the VCL. This is the last week, and we are going out with this interesting match against Israel Swaste and Sven van der Borden. And we have a different lead from Sven. We have Kyogre and Rillaboom. None of them was shown during the last lead, so I think that Sven tried to readapt, and Isra, in the other hand, starts with the same Pokemon, Konya.
Yeah, that's true. And knowing that Thunderous is a support mode, and it's not like how do you call it? It's not like going to attack you with an airstream or something like that. That means that Rillaboom should be able to get some damage here, so you're not immediately threatened by a support Thunderous. And so I think it's really good to bring Rillaboom here. I think it's just great in the matchup in general. As we see, Dynamax right away coming out is going to be the Kyogre. Remember that this Kyogre showed its life force, so it's an offensive variant of Kyogre. Of course, you could be having a wild charge coming from Thunderous. Even if support, you should still have like an electric move to hit. So let's see if Kyogre can do some damage here. We also see Palkia Dynamaxing. Important to note that Kyogre is Dynamaxing first. That means that Palkia should be like a more support oriented, sorry, not support, a more defensive one or more bulky one. Meaning that Kyogre should be like fast speed, and Palkia is probably going to be a little bit slower. That's good to know for Sven for the future as well. As we see, Rillaboom going to fake out the Thunderous. Very good one, good turn one there. And Max Hailstorm coming from the Kyogre. Not even he doesn't even want to keep his own weather. He just wants to come out with the hail. And Thunderous goes down. That's really good for Sven because Thunderous was really good on game one. Now he's gone without even moving.
Yes, yes. He prefers to read out of Thunderous as quick as he can. And then the max whirlwind comes to Kyogre, leaving it with 70% of HP, and Rillaboom going to -1 of attack stat. I think that Ben played very well. I think that go for the Max Hazen instead of the Hailstorm. Try not to change the weather. I think that Max Hazen would be enough to knock out the Thunderous, but he decided to go for the Max Hailstorm, maybe trying to cover from a switch to Rillaboom, but I'm not sure at all. But good news for Sven that takes care of this Thunderous before it can do very good damage at his waist, obviously during the EV impulse.
Yeah, that's true. I think like covering and switching for Rillaboom was a really good idea. I mean, Hailstorm KOs both Thunderous and both Rillaboom. You can always go for Max Gator next turn, or maybe even Palkia can Max Gator and bring back the ring. So I think it was a good idea to go for the Hailstorm. There's no really a lot that you lose and you can't recover later. You see that Ariel goes for Grassy Glide and Kyogre does live. And we do see a retaliating a Max Hailstorm onto Rillaboom. This could be really big. Yeah, that's a KO on Rillaboom. East-Rust Rillaboom was like really important in this matchup. It was a crit. I don't think it mattered.
I don't know, because it had us out best.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, but is the Kyogre being light for it's possible that it didn't really matter. We don't really know, but speaking of which, Rillaboom does live right there, I think, with a sliver of HP. No, actually no. Just gets KO'd. If it did live, it would have gone to the Hail anyway. So both Rillabooms fall on the same turn. Poor them, they couldn't really stay on the field for one turn. As Palkia and Kyogre just exchange big hits one with another.
Yes, exactly. And now Israel only has 2 Pokemon, but Sven has 3. So let's see if Sven's advantage of 1 Pokemon is enough to win this game too, or despite of this, Israel is going to win all this series, this complete series with this, if he going to manage to win this game. So let's see which session moves first. I can't see which one. Okay, it's the Israel one, and KO'd Kyogre. This is very important, but let's see, because we know that Sensation has played rough here. It came and it's enough. It's a crit. I can't believe that the Dream Team is having so much bad luck. We saw Kenneth's game having so much critical hit in his Pokemon, and then we see Sven getting knocked out this Palkia with the critical hit. I think that it's matter because of the Dynamax, but I'm not sure because of session at +1 is who a threat. But I don't know. What do you think, Konya?
Yeah, I feel like it matters. Like with the double HP from the Dynamax, I feel like Palkia should be able to leave that play rough. But well, it doesn't really matter right now. The important thing is that Station is still moving here. A crit would have been really good right now, but no, there's no crit there. They are going to exchange Behemoth Blades, and their Greens are still waiting there to get an attack off. We see that they both do really good damage to each other, and there's going to be a foul play from Greens that should be enough. Yeah, that's going to KO this Station from Isra, and this is going to 1-1 game 3 that defines everything. Everything comes down to one more game.
Yes, the last game of this series, and or the last game of all this Ultra Cup that was 3-week time. We saw the first week during our last stream, then the week 2 in name stream, and now this is the last game of all. We can know when this game ends who is the team that is going to rise the cup. It will have this or free entry for the next BGC Challenge League season that is going to take place during September. So it's a good price. So let's see which one is the team that can achieve this this trophy. So Juanma, if you are there, but Konya, first of all,
I'm ready.
Okay. So that's it. I think that it's important to say that Grisna has full play. This is a very important move because sometimes it has the spirit break and another the full play. So this is a value information for Isra. I think that maybe Isra needs to take care of his turn rules better. I don't know. That's all. So Juanma?
Let's go then.
Okay. Okay. We have some troubles trying to find the game 3, but I think it's there. Okay. And now this is it. No, this is not it. We are seeing the screen black, but let's wait.
Yeah, it's just a minute.
Okay. I think that this is it. I think that something that we have to discover is Station +1 play rate is enough to get the KO on Palkia, because this critical hit, I think that confuse us. Remember that it's a super effective move, being at +1 with such a powerful, strong Pokemon as Sashan. So I think that this is all that we have to discover. Okay, so it's all set up. So let's move to the game 3 and find out which of both teams, if we have the Aegislash run from the bottom of the positioning of the seed to the number 1. Okay.
I think it's important to know if Grisha should have an item that is not light play. So there could be like a switcheroo still waiting there that could like really help against the Palkia or against the Rillaboom if possible. Also, the Rillabooms both were really good in the matchup, and they both were gone on game 2 like in the same turn. So trying to keep them alive or trying to keep them like more useful basically could be like really important. We saw that Kyogre twice left the Grassy Glide from Rillaboom, one from max health, one from like medium health, but on Dynamax. Both times he did get a KO. So if Isra's can really get that KO on Kyogre before he can move with his Dynamax moves and his Life Orb damage, then Isra should have a lot of ease in the rest of the matchup, because getting rid of the Kyogre is really important because it does so much damage, even if it's always standing in front of Palkia. It still does a lot of damage with the Life Orb and the water moves, or even the Hailstorm. It's really good, and if you can stop that Dynamax if you can stop Kyogre from using his Dynamax moves, then you really should have more ease in the rest of the matchup.
Yes, that is why Thundurus is so important, having the possibility to shut down Zapdos and Kyogre. I think that's very important, because if Spen repeats the same 4 Pokemon that he brought during the last game, I think that Rillaboom or Session, I think are good Pokemon, can hit very well, but the key here is to shut down this Kyogre. It does a lot of damage. We see that Kyogre can knock out a Foul Best Rillaboom with Max Hailstorm. This is so an amazing damage. So I think that this is the key. If Isra can shut down this Pokemon, I think that it will be very. The match will be on his side, but for this we will have to wait until Juanma finish the match. So, okay. Pero lo podemos tener. Ok, ¿está? ¿Está ahora o querés un tiempo? Ah, listo, ok. Vamos, listo. Okay, so let's move to the game 3 of the final series between Apprentice Acid Lash and the Dream Team. Israel Swaste facing Sven van der Borden. Here, it comes at last. Rillaboom and Kyogre facing Rillaboom and Palkia. Isra keeping his Thundurus in the back, I think, or not bringing. I think that Thundurus is there. It's there in the back, but we don't know for sure. But Rillaboom in front of another Rillaboom. What's your thoughts, Konya?
And maybe they both didn't want to bring Zapdos or even Thunderous because like they did something in like game 1 and game 2 and like maybe you don't want to bring it anymore right now. But seeing both Rillaboom here, like you know that there's possible hailstone coming from Kyogre. You know that Palkia will for Max Whirlwind on the Kyogre because it will drop the Rillaboom's attack, and then if Rillaboom's attack drop, you can't really do a lot of it. You don't know who's faster, of course, so the Fake Out wars is they're very important. Like you need to get the Fake Out right here if you want to get the momentum going from turn 1. And we do see that there's a switch here. No more Kyogre on the field. Incineroar counts out, intimidate the Rillaboom and the Palkia. So now Isra's Rillaboom is not going to do a lot of damage, and if he targets the Kyogre slot with a Grass type mode, then Incineroar is going to take it really well. We do see a Dynamax for the start, and it's going to be on Palkia. We usually see Palkia Dynamax, and it's no surprise to anyone. We'll see if it was a Max Whirlwind or a possible Max Gator in the rain. That's always a good damage to have. Rillaboom from Isra is going to Fake Out first, so Palkia then moves next to the Max Whirlwind. That's going to hit on the Rillaboom, and that's Rillaboom gone. Sven is going to lose his Rillaboom after being so important in the other games.
Yes, exactly. This was a very good read for Isra, knowing that Sven will be trying to keep his Kyogre alive, receiving the less damage possible, and luckily this works for him, and Sven lost one of his Pokemon. I think that Kyogre can do it now, despite of being of what happened or having a Rillaboom in front of him. But I think that the Fake Out from Incineroar and Kyogre Dynamaxing and making the damage possible can make or can help Sven. But the problem is the Thundurus. If Thundurus isn't back, I think that it will be very difficult for Sven. But let's see what happens during this turn. Kyogre is going to Dynamax, trying to knock off Thundurus. First of all, we have the Fake Out into the Rillaboom and the Max Hailstorm. Yes, Rillaboom is going to be KO. No. I think that it was a roll during the last game, Konya. I'm crazy.
it looks like it. Really managed to survive there, which is huge for Isra. Sven spent all his resources to just KO Rillaboom. He knew that Rillaboom had to go there to a shot, and now Incineroar is going to go down to Max Geyser, and Rillaboom gets to move here too as well. Like, let's see what he decided to go for. And oh, actually, flinch. Yeah, for the fake out. Sorry. But not getting the KO there is huge, 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 huge. Isra's Rillaboom gets to live, and without the chip damage from Hailstorm, he gets to recover a little bit more of HP. Now Sven is it's looking really grim because he only has Kyber and Station left on the battlefield, while Isra still has his 4 Pokemon ready to go. So that's so harsh to see, so tough.
Yes, yes, it will be very tough for Sven to get the comeback because if Thundurus is in the back, and remember that Isra Station is or seems to be faster than Sven Station. That is be very difficult, but let's see. Rillaboom is going to grassy glide into Kyogre, making a lot of damage, not so much, but some damage. Then Station go for this substitute, and Kyogre hits his Max Lighting into the Rillaboom, trying to catch up Thundurus in the switch or not. But let's see what Palkia has to show us. It's a Max Quake into the Station, breaking out the substitute, and increases his special defense at +1, but I think that this did not matter because Station can go for the Blade Rock. What is here, or what the problem is here, is that Thundurus can shut down easily the Kyogre, but in the other hand we have Palkia going back to normal, and I think that we need to see what happens here, because Thundurus will have to decide if he goes for the Kyogre or the Sashan, and there is when Sven can take the advantage if he guesses which is the one that Thundurus is going to try to shut down, Konya.
Yeah, I think it's important that we don't see an Incineroar here, so Station's attack is going to remain at +1, which is huge. Obviously, we do see Israel knows about this, and he goes for the scary face on the Station to leave it at -2. He knows that Station is a threat, and you have to neutralize that threat. I think that scary face is really, really good. We do see, of course, the Hailstorm on the Thundurus, so Thundurus is going to go down here, and he's finally at 2 versus 2, but Palkia still has to move, he has an attack to choose, and it's going to be Air Power onto the Station. This is going to get the KO. It is important KO, because Station could have played rough that Palkia's not.
No,
sorry,
no KO.
It's an KO, but
No.
it will go down to the KO. So the Station does fall right here, but no, it wasn't a KO. So this is a 1 versus 1 right now.
Station, whoa, Station hangs out with an invisible focus sash. I don't know what happened there, but it brings an light of it will make Ben trying to win, but it's also difficult, Konya.
Yeah, because Kyogre doesn't have the rain anymore, so like maybe an Origin Pulse single target on the rain could KO a Station, but I don't believe that any other move, especially the Hail, can really... Okay, Kyogre can go for Thunder there. If he can connect a Thunder, like paralyze the Station, it could be really good. But Isra is also playing really smart because the Hail is going to chip more of the Kyogre's health. So now he has to just hit an attack, and I believe that Isra should be able to win with hit an attack. It's going to be flare up, and it does connect, and that means that Kyogre goes down, and the Ultra Cup winners are the Dream Team.
Yes, they finally make it. It was very tough for them because of the hacks in some match. But yes, finally they couldn't make it. This play rough. I was expecting if the play rough missed because of the hacks that they uh, they were having during all these showdown, but finally they managed to win this Ultra Cup 3-2. Juanma, there you have the final results, but congratulations to them. Uh, Congratulations to TDT because they did it very well. I think that we have a very good match. Um, Apprentice Slash that was making a very good run, beating Tax Unit first, then Poke Hornets, and finally they finally lost to TDT, the dream team, but it was a very nice match to see. Konya, do you feel the same?
Yeah, I was down to the wire because, as you said, if Station missed a player off, that could have gone really bad. I mean, it could have changed everything. So, I mean, we also feel it was always back and forth, like 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. It was really like tied down to like the last turn of the last game, of the last set, of the last everything. So really exciting to see all the way. And well, congrats to Dream Team for making it for winning. Basically, they got the last thing right and got the win that they deserved.
Yes. We don't have a Latam team in Master Cup finals, but we have a Latam team winning the Ultra Cup. That it's something. It's something in a league where you have a lot of teams from the abroad, having teams from the United States, from Italy, um, from Asia. It's very good to have a team from Latam, in this case Mexico, winning the Ultra Cup. So that's great. Juanma, si tenés ahí los... Okay. Okay, so let's move to the final result in order to recap this journey. We have, first of all, Kenneth Gamboa, Lisiado BGC, losing to Damo Lockmic in the stream, having a very bad luck. 1-2-2. Then Abraham Horta, Stat AB, wins 2-0 to Sable BGC, Ryan Loseto. Then Isra Suaste, Isra BGC, now in stream just a second ago, beat 2-1 to Sven van der Borden. Then Mauricio León, Mau Trainer, the first match on stream, was beat by Turtle Mania Jeffrey Bird on 1-2-2. And finally the match that did not show on a stream because it was in Showdown. It was Juan Chu Diaz beating Penji Stefan Moll 2-0. So that's all. We have the Dream Team winning the Ultra Cup. Do you, Juanma, tenés ahí la última fotito? A poner the last picture. Showing there it is. As we said before, the Dream Team beating Apprentice Slash, that was making a very good run, coming from the 7th place, beating Hax Unit that finished 6th. Then the 5th, Poke Hornet, and then when they came to face the 4th place from the league, the Dream Team, they couldn't make it, and Dream Team wins the Ultra Cup first division finals in the first season of the VGC Challenge. Konya, something to say?
Not really much to say. Congrats to the winner, and also, I mean, congrats to Apprentice Dash mainly because they came from down below and they made it to the finals. So really good showing. Of course, not the best showing they could show like right now we saw, but they're probably not going to be happy about it. But they really did it really good. They got really far. So congrats to them as well.
Yes. They did a very good run. And before we say goodbye, we have something to tell you about the finals, the Master Finals. ¿Tenés ahí, Juanma, para mostrar? Okay. Tomorrow we have the finals, the Master Cup First Division finals. We have the match between U.S. Pokemon Association and Capital Underdogs that it will be streamed in the IR Nemesis TV or Neme channel tomorrow night or Argentina night. You will see this match between the two best teams from the league. You have the United States Pokemon Association, a team from the United States, and Capital Underdogs from Italy. That Capital Underdogs beat during last week Twilight Wings, the team from Asia that was one of the candidates to win this league. So it was a very tough match between these two teams. Do you have a favorite, Konya?
Not really. Let's just say that let the best team win.
Okay. I think that the Capital Underdogs maybe can beat and make the the run that Apprentice Slash couldn't. But I don't know. I hope they can. The guy from Italy. But if you want to know what happens, you have to see tomorrow in Neme stream. I think that it's very possible that I will cast that final with Neme, so you will see me tomorrow as well, but
nice.
in Spanish. So, and then we have Chef in the chat that is asking what about the other relegation match. Remember, Konya, that you have underdogs. We saw underdogs against Homegrown Appleton that was cast last week. Now we have Evolutions against Rolling Dogs, the other relegation. They are 2-on-2, and one match remains, the chef match. That I think that if I can, but let's try. I will show it on a stream here on Lock channel before the finals. But I will try to do my best because we only get one match on a stream. It's so we want more streams, and then Audrey was the one who streamed this match, but he couldn't because he have COVID. So get well, Audrey, if you are seeing this. So I will try to stream it before Neme starts his one. But that's all. If you want all the information, you can stay tuned at Desafío Latam Twitter.com. And that's all. I think that we say everything. It was a pleasure to cast all this run in the VCC Challenge League with you, Konya. We made almost 90% of the streams you were here.
True.
So it was a pleasure. And I hope you can join us during the next season the la in the late September. So we are hope to count on you during the next season.
Of course, my pleasure.
Okay, and saying all this, that's all. Thank you, Juanma, to be there behind the screen. There in the background, in the backstage. So that's all. Thank you very much, and we are seeing it tomorrow in M stream. Goodbye.
Yeah.